Chat rats, y'all ready? Light it up. Light it up. It's that time. Let's roll.
Got the crew on the dial and we setting out east. Rat daddy at the wheel on the trail for the beast. Toy got receipts and a pocket full of names, and we busting out truths like we blowing out flames.
Eastbound and down, chat rats rolling heavy. Truth on our tailgate, justice riding steady. Mic in our hand and the signs all red. Ain't no lies slipping past what the chat rat said.
Playlist. Angels taking charge, law leans on the mic and her notes hit hard. Mary B's lifted but she's sharper than attack. Dean's dropping questions while he's rolling in his Cadillac.
Breaker, rap mama here, got eyeballs on that shady scene. Y'all ready? Light it up, rats. 10, 4, 20. Northbound and bold, truth in the backseat. Chat rats got that heat, can't be beat. From the chat rats lounge to the courthouse gate, we ride for the truth and we show up to see that fate.
What up, chat rats? Welcome to another episode of What the Fuck. I'm Danny Thomas. This is Rat House Media, whatever that is. What up, Mary B?
Hey, what's up?
Not shite. Just sitting here chilling. What you doing? Off work?
Yeah, all done with work. Just getting ready for the Sunday scaries with y'all.
Ooh. So when's your next interview?
It is Tuesday at 4. Hopefully that's the last one because I've been through like a few of them. It's not like being president or anything. I just,
Yeah, they want you to be mayor. They gotta vet you.
I'm just gonna do
Well, anyways, I had a pile of Turtleboy videos in my watch later from yesterday, and we didn't make it anywhere near. We made it through 3. One of them was we didn't have a lot of time when we do the pre-games, but
yeah,
figure we just watch them, get rid of them. I don't know where Lawleen is. I don't want to do the other trial without Lawleen and Toy and all them being home ready to go. Robin G hates Mondays. So
same.
Oh, what's up, Prince Lover, Angel, Clark
Little Miss,
Dawn Marie, Epic Moderator, Epic, big time. I don't know how big time Dawn Marie is, but she is.
Nice.
Stones is here, or was here. What's up? Little Miss Red Velvet's here. Oh, nice. All the way from London. Nice. I love that song. It gets stuck in my head.
Yeah, all these songs that everyone's created are very catchy for sure.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Come on. I don't know why my iPad does that. It won't let me in the app, or they let me change my pin messages and stuff. It's pissing me off.
Yeah, and Mercury retrograde is over now. So
yeah, they're fucking with us. Mercury. I said Mercury.
Well, apparently there's like a couple days after the retrograde that it's like still kind of a little wonky.
Yeah. MJ, I didn't get a haircut. It's the same hair I had yesterday. Same hair. But I did get a haircut yesterday. Just a day late. Day late.
We didn't notice yesterday.
Mm-mm. No, you couldn't have seen me. I was only sitting there for 2.5 hours. Jesus.
Pay attention. Jeez.
Yeah. So I was goofing off on Next Witness page and let them know that we always watch their stuff. That we think it's super cool. And they were like, "Oh, cool. I checked out your channel, and I'm gonna try to come next time. You guys have a live stream." But we're not watching this because of that. We're watching it because it was in the damn queue yesterday, and we didn't make it to it. And this is Wrenchler
Love
with
Wrenchler.
YouTuber Reacts. And my wife is in the chat all the way from Florida.
Toy, we've missed you.
Yeah, hanging out with my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, who I've
Aw.
never met. I got a new brother-in-law. This is like my 13th one. Not from the same sister-in-law though. She got sisters. Lots
How
of
many sisters does she have?
4.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
They could have had like a girl group.
Yeah.
Could have been like the Spice.
They don't all talk all the time. They're always mad at each other all the time. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
pretty normal.
For sure.
Pretty normal. Cherry's here.
What's up, Cherry?
Say hello to Cherry. Thank God. I miss Cherry being here for sure. She's gonna have to be here more often. We're gonna make way, spread it out, part the waters.
Yeah, Cherry, come hang out. I miss you.
Yeah, this would be something good to watch to get started before we start the downhill slide on Turtleboy stuff. Come on, iPad. This thing does not want to cooperate.
Come on, iPad.
Keeps pausing the video. Stay open. Here we go. Let it go.
All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Beverly Canoni, the Justice of the Superior Court, holding in Dedham within and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is in session. Please be seated.
Good morning.
Vietnam.
Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Happy hump day.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be, and welcome to what is.
Just in case you weren't here last night, Prince Lover, Broken Baker came and hung out last night. And he didn't just come through, he actually hung out for a while. He tried to bail out quick. He was like, "Oh, I think I gotta go to sleep." And then our Juju got on him. He was like, "Fuck, I can't leave. This is ridiculously bad. This is like watching a train wreck."
Yeah, he kept saying it was leaving. And then
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta. Oh God, I'm staying to watch this shit.
Last day for the defense.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Try not to.
Nervous? Feeling good?
Did anybody wake up today with like a new sense of purpose, a new feeling of hope? It's the tail end of the defense case.
We started.
Did you guys see that Melanie Little had Lady Zelda on her show?
it was Lady Zelda that had Melanie on her show.
Oh, it looked like the other way, but that's cool that she would do that.
Yeah, she had like it looked like a couple thousand viewers.
That's it.
Well, for
All Melanie could round up was a couple thou.
I mean, it might have gotten bigger,
Yeah.
but when I first saw, I mean, that's pretty good. She usually only has like 100 or so.
I hang out on there every now and then.
Yeah, me too.
Glad for her. That's good. Just to get your channel exploded like that. Just get it reamed out one time. Let Melanie a little bit more, stretch that thing out, you know?
Yeah, good for her.
Dr. Rensler.
The good doctor, the other half of Crash Daddy.
Crash Daddy the second, Andrew Wrenchler, the biomechanical engineer.
Yesterday, and it didn't seem like the defense had a lot more questions to him, and hanky panky an hour and a half, Your Honor. So 2 5 hours, something like that.
This trial not only is going to be over soon, but we are very soon going to hear the magic words "not guilty." Did anybody else get that feeling?
And
Dawn Marie mods for Duty Ron. Fucking big time, son. Big time.
Other than that, we will have some rebuttal.
And that's going to be Dr. Welcher to rebut the ARCA testing. Hartnett from the lab, who I imagine the defense is going to ask about those cuttings on the back of John O'Keefe's hoodie and swabbing the sleeve of John O'Keefe's hoodie. And then the person from UC Davis that tested the swabs and said that there was no dog DNA.
Guys, we could be done today. We could be done today.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, please, if you have not already.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell.
Let's get to it.
Good morning, jurors. I have to ask you those same 3 questions. Were you all able to follow my instructions and refrain from discussing this case?
Oh, I
with
just
anyone
want to speak to
left
it.
yesterday?
Oh, I know.
I like these because it makes us look like we're all on panel together.
Right?
So we take some clips out of Melanie Little, like, yeah, she was on the show. Ain't no big deal. It's not
No big
bad.
Everyone said yes and nodded affirmatively. Were you also able to follow the instructions?
The sun is
and
so
refrain from doing
bright
any
coming into that
independent
courtroom right now.
research or investigation into this case?
It looks like a sunny day in Massachusetts.
Affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case since we left here yesterday?
Unfortunately, yes.
Everyone said no or shook their heads. Thank you. Can we have
Can't-
Dr. Rentschler again?
Can't escape. Can't stop, won't stop.
It needs one of those ugly curtains on the other side to match that curtain, because now the sun is coming out of the other window and it's right in her face. So that ugly hospital curtain that they got from wherever they got it from, it's not doing the full-on job. Good morning, Eugenia, my favorite court officer.
We're going to zoom as Dr. Rentschler takes the witness stand. Very tall.
Did you prepare a PowerPoint presentation to illustrate the analysis and methodology in your review and testing of this case?
I did, yes, sir.
Did you bring that with you today?
I did indeed.
Your Honor, I have a flash drive I'd like to have marked as next in order.
Okay. Is there an objection?
Not for identification.
Okay, so it's not for identification.
He's going to save his objections for when, comes time to enter it into evidence, or each slide individually he'll object to. We'll be here all damn day.
So the purpose of my investigation in this matter was to evaluate the evidence, and particularly as it pertains to the alleged theory of what occurred.
For the record, this is the smartest guy who testified in Massachusetts, period, ever in the history of Massachusetts. Dude's smart. Look at him.
Agreed.
Math is falling out of his ears. Look at him. Come on. Well,
He's also smart at dealing with Brennan.
yeah.
Good, masterful.
What the hell happened? Sorry.
Fine.
I did some internet resetting earlier, and I don't know. May not be running at speed now. Come
Ooh,
on.
166 subscribers now.
Yeah, we're moving right along.
Yeah, start quick.
Now I gotta find this video again. Wait 1 second. And that is when I was scared when we swapped to the AT&T. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Matter, don't they?
They do, yes, sir.
You said it many.
Just the way he said it. Facts matter.
Facts matter.
He sounded nasty already.
Many times.
Oh, I hate stopping it again, but what's up, Brooklyn? New person in the chat. Oscar.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Matter. Isn't that correct?
I think it was details, but facts matter too.
Details matter, Doctor?
They do.
Listen to that smart aleck tone. Just nasty.
He said details matter. And for Brennan getting up to say facts matter and him saying, actually, sir, I said details is just a fucking 10 out of 10. It's just a 10 out of 10.
You don't know where he landed. You don't know where the impact was. This 10 to 20 foot estimate is wrong.
You have no idea where the point of impact was in this collision, do you?
Nobody does.
Well, what that tells us is
Nobody.
the Commonwealth's case is bad.
I'm asking you, not nobody.
Yeah,
You, excuse me.
So go ahead and ask the question.
Doctor.
Jackson. Let him cook. Let this witness go. This is not a witness you need to worry about. Look at his face. He's like, bring it.
Yo, mofo, he didn't come to play. He didn't come to play your little games, spanky danky.
Go ahead and ask the question.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Bring it, guy. Bring it.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Dr. Rentschler,
Nobody knows. You don't know either.
for this jury, have
Rentschler put up with the shit.
idea where the point of impact was of this collision, do you?
that's correct. There's no evidence.
Whoops. Brennan just keeps punching himself in the junk. There's no evidence. Oh, Brennan. Damn.
You didn't discuss it with anybody, you said?
I did not know.
Before you testified last year, you were receiving information from your employer about issues and testimony in the case.
That's the FBI.
The party that retained us told us things.
He's asking
I
him
didn't break
about
any
the
sequestration.
Department of
They were the
Justice
ones
right
in
now.
contact with the court. So it was my assumption that whatever they were telling me was allowed by the court.
How good of an answer is that, by the way? He's like, the person that hired me was talking to the court, and it was between them and the court.
Which is a great answer because it kind of precludes some private individual and infers an agency, because who else would be talking to a court and caring about testimony?
Got to be careful because you don't want him to be able to explain what. Why this unusual scenario, Dr. Rentschler? Well, because it was the FBI and there was a protective order, yada, yada.
Why? Because it hurts them. When the FBI is investigating, they get involved for what reason? Because they felt that something was wrong with the investigators investigating this case. The FBI
Glen Lake, why can't you stay? Why can't you stay?
Yeah, this better be good.
It better be.
doesn't just stick their nose in just because.
They were the client. I didn't discuss anything with them or tell them anything, but yes, they told us certain things.
You want to bring the FBI up, Hank? Go ahead. Go ahead. Throw the dynamite into the cage. Let's go. Let's go. FBI hired them. You want to go there? Go.
Look at the things that are happening in and around Canton. The corruption and all the craziness that's going on. The reason the FBI...
Glenn, are you still trying to get these beavers cleared out of your lake or whatever? You are horrible at this. Horrible. You must be up north. Just buy me a plane ticket. I'll show you how to get them son bitches out of there. You drag them out.
Damn beavers.
was here behind the scenes investigating is because they smelled something funky. Ed, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. There's a lot of corruption going around in that county, and the FBI is all over it.
Before you testify under...
Glenn, you need tannerite. You don't need a trap. What are you going to trap them for? Where are you going to take them? You going to take them home? No. You need tannerite. And go down there, load up your little tannerite, run back about 100 yards.
Last year, you were getting updates from your
They do it on
employer
the
about
dynasty.
the details of this case, weren't you?
You have to be able to bring this in now. Is this all you got, Hank? You fuck. You have to tell them who these people are.
We can approach briefly.
Yeah, approach. Is this all he has?
Briefly now. Briefly when the defense has concerns.
Careful, Mr. Brennan.
Brennan has got to be real careful about
So let me get this straight, Glenn. You like to look the beaver in the eye.
Yeah, how do you kill it? How do you eventually kill it? I don't think I want to know, but I do need to ask.
Talks it to death. It's like 6 hours of Glenn Lake telling jokes. The baby is like, I'll do it myself. Give me that knife over there.
About how
Dies
he
of
asked these
cringe.
questions about
Somebody might accidentally say FBI, and then the whole thing's turns into a cat out of the bag.
Hank has opened the door. Let's say FBI.
If he wants to open up the door to the FBI, let him open up the door to the FBI.
I mean, he's not opening the door. He kicked it open.
Boom.
Updates from your employer. Your employer.
Who was that? His employer? Because it sounds like his employer is ARCA. And it wasn't ARCA that was telling him.
The party to the contract, which is the FBI, not your employer, ARCA.
Shouldn't be saying employer. It was actually his client, not his employer.
So that's what I think is so dirty and corrupt about this process is that it's bad enough they can't bring up the FBI hired them.
You know that the feds told you things.
Right. Now there's this negative inference that whoever his employer was keeping him up to date, and it's violating the sequestration order. No, good sir. That's the Department of Justice you're speaking of.
It, to me, is totally unbelievable that Judge Canoni would do this, because she's going to let this hurt Karen Reed when it has nothing to do with Karen Reed, and she knows darn well that that's the case.
You can't use it as a shield and a sword.
But then to try to use that as a weapon against ARCA, to try to say that they're acting shady behind the scenes and violating a court order, that automatically should bring it in.
Karen Reed had no control over what the FBI was going to share with Rentschler before he was testifying. And she's allowing them to do this under the guise to hurt Karen Reed. It's not relevant to Karen Reed.
And say, we don't want the FBI to be mentioned, but now we're going to inquire about the FBI, which is who hired them.
But to have it used here in a way that definitely looks nefarious, but not you. So this is a way to hurt the defense with it. Again, sword and shield, to hurt the defense with it. But the defense doesn't get helped with it, saying the FBI hired you because they wanted to know if John O'Keefe was hit by a car.
They kept them up to date with the information of the case because you are full of shit.
To insert all this kind of stuff by Brennan is so underhanded.
I guess the way it's coming in is Rentschler's credibility, but that's totally unfair without the context of the FBI being involved.
Do you think the jury's going to think anything of this shit? Like, honestly, they're not.
And I don't think it undermines their credibility in the way Brennan might hope.
This is like there's nothing that's going to destroy this guy's credibility.
They're doing what they're contracted to do with the FBI.
To not allow that in is mind-boggling.
Is Brennan going back to the microphone so we can hear him? Great.
I'll walk right away from it.
No, wait, where are you
Before
going?
You testified
Go back.
last year. You were receiving information, not from the defense, from your employer, about other witnesses' testimony. You are denying that information certainly helped you prepare.
How did it help me prepare? It didn't change the opinions I offered.
How good is the ham sandwich bit gonna be now?
It didn't change what was in my report or what I'm opining to or testifying to today. It hasn't changed anything I've ever testified to.
I'm going to ask you a very specific question. I want you to be very
I want to ask a very specific question. I want you to answer it because I'm a douchebag.
Are you denying that?
He just denied it, and you're going to ask it 16 times. After this time, asked and answered. After the next time, asked and answered.
Denying that receiving that information certainly helped you prepare. You denying it.
Yeah, go ahead and just deny it.
I don't think that it did. It's been a year, but certainly it didn't change any of my opinions or what I opined to. It didn't change anything with my testimony.
I'm going to ask you one more time. I'll ask you a different question.
Asked and answered. He's answered it
Receiving that information
multiple times.
Asked and
from your
answered.
employer, are you denying it helped you understand what was going on during the trial?
Asked and answered.
We're going to allow that.
Why?
Allow it.
I don't even think that it did. I don't understand it.
He's answered it 3, if not 4 times.
Fucking time.
It's literally the definition of asked and answered. You don't get to ask again just because you do not like the answer.
What the theory was.
Just say
so
no.
saying that there's trace DNA doesn't change anything. Doesn't affect what my understanding of the trial was or what was happening or what allegedly occurred.
Just say no, Dr. Rentschler. Let's keep it moving.
When
Please
you
get
were
through this
traveling
question.
out to testify last year, you had
No, I'm gonna hold
phone
back.
conversations with the defense, didn't you?
I think it was just planning and scheduling.
Was there any discussion on how you could portray yourself as independent?
Oh my God.
I don't believe there was.
So you don't believe?
Yeah. There was no
you
need
have
to.
You have to tell them who this was. You have to.
Details matter.
I'm muting myself.
So the objection sustained. I'm going to strike that, folks. Okay. Questions, Mr. Brennan?
Details matter. That's 4 times now, Brennan.
So far,
Next time he says details matter, I'm
going to take a drink.
Was there any attempt?
So the objection sustained.
All right, so we're going to start mentioning now the comments that we've been talking about that Hank Brennan continues to make. His, either wind-ups or testimony or making comments or saying things that have nothing to do with the question, talking to the witness, mocking the witness, being disrespectful to the witness. And we're going to show some of them. We're not even going to show all of them because there were so many today. But details matter. Well, you're the one who said details matter. Well, do those details not matter? Before he asks a question, I guess you choose which details matter and which ones don't. Things like that.
Jesus. His entire cross so far has been asking about the DOJ and their malpractice in this relationship. You have to be able to tell them that it was the DOJ. You have to. This is ridiculous.
They provided a ride to and from the airport, yes.
Did you tell the defense that you prefer to take an Uber so that it would?
Brooklyn, you'll find out that here, basically, like Diane G says, this is the chat all-stars. We have watched this shit so many times with all these creators, and then on this stupid channel and the channel before this. We love it. We have watched it so many times.
Appear independent to a jury?
No, because I didn't take an Uber. I took their ride. If I wanted to appear independent, then I would have taken an Uber.
Oh, whoops. Whoops. Okay.
You didn't ask to take an Uber. Yeah. And in fact, he points out if I wanted to portray myself as being independent, I would have done that, wouldn't I? I would have called the Uber.
I told you guys. I told you he was going to bring up. I told you he was going to bring up. Who did you ride with? Where'd you eat breakfast? Did you go to the hotel and talk to them? Collusion.
If you merely had a conversation about Uber, really, that's what we're wasting the jury's time on. That's all you got. Thank you, Brendan, for showing us how little you got to cross-examine this guy on.
Let's give Brennan a little bit of credit since there's a troll here, because he came into a situation that was not good at all. He threw as many fucking wrenches every which way he could throw them until he caught a couple of spokes. And then Bev just let him go. Do what you want.
Maybe he should have just
Are we
not.
forgetting that?
What were her words when she thought that Alan Jackson had duped her on that fucking payment?
Grave
She-
concerns?
Yeah, she never had grave concerns with Hank. And he blatantly lied and then admitted he was lying.
Withheld evidence and
Wasn't gravely concerned then.
Tully picked up one of his witnesses and drove him from the airport. Are we forgetting that part? What a moron.
Well, what do you think Welcher was doing? He's hanging out with you on Sunday, Monday, doing all kinds of stuff with you multiple days, Brennan. So it's just unreal.
I don't think they have any way of substantiating any of this. I really don't. I think this is that head fake bluff where you.
There's no doubt. That's my point exactly. He came for a paycheck. Plus, whoever owed Morrissey a favor that told Brennan that he was going to take his ass down there for whatever money they paid him because Brennan works for them, that's who we don't know. Who is the mobster Brennan still works for? So he probably made $1 million under the table, plus a little whatever he made from the city of Canton or the state, whoever paid for it. So, ridiculous. But I guarantee you, Hanky made some. That was a favor for somebody for him to go do that.
To seeing from Brennan where he just makes up whatever he thinks will intimidate this witness or, you know, get him uncertain about what happened.
It's so weird that Brennan's asking these questions. It makes me think that he has some information that says this, but he doesn't push him on it.
He's fainting receipts.
Is he just fucking saying shit?
And I don't think he has them.
Let's focus on how this man got to the courtroom. I said I was going to mute myself. I can't do this. We're at 5 sidebar, y'all. And that's just making, I'm prolonging it. I got to mute myself.
It didn't even cross my mind, sir.
You testified. Where did you go?
Home.
Well, I was waiting for my ride, and to get back to the airport, they had to take other people. And so they were having a lunch afterwards, and they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich.
Oh, God. Here we go. I've been waiting for this part. I can't wait. I'm going to have to stop at this. I want to get all my stuff set up right for this moment. Hold on.
Ham sandwich time.
All right. Here we go.
This is where he went, and he had a ham sandwich.
There's a ham sandwich. They aren't even muffins.
Had a ham sandwich. Did you testify?
Oh, that's something he's going to try to mock and ridicule him on. You know it because he repeated ham sandwich.
That repeating of you had a ham sandwich, like sarcastically mocking witnesses, saying things in open court that you know you shouldn't say. They're inappropriate and inadmissible. That's where lawyers can really get in trouble.
I sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich, or did more go on?
Bev, you have to stop this now.
Like, what the heck
is...
are we arguing about a ham sandwich right now?
You're going to let it go.
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
People were talking?
Well, certainly, I'm sure I did, sir.
Did you laugh a lot?
I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed.
You see how he's just like, you know, Hank Brand's trying to say, oh, yeah, you were all together. You were laughing.
He answered these questions great. I have seen good experts struggle with questions like this because they're so dumb and you're like, what are you talking about?
Did you have awesome shooters and talk to awesome people?
This is actually not funny.
Holy fuck. Is this a sick joke?
This is the funniest shit to ever come out of any fucking trial ever.
And to get back to the airport, they had to take other people. And so they were having a lunch afterwards, and they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich.
Did you testify at some
Ham
point
sandwich.
that after you had something to eat, you just stood in the corner?
I did. I just sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich, or did more go on?
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Certainly, I'm sure I did, sir.
Did you laugh a lot?
I assume if something funny was said,
I had to do that. Sorry.
Would piss me off to no end.
This is what 350,000 to 400,000 buys you.
This is absurd. This is he actually, excuse me, sir. Did you go somewhere with them?
After he testified.
After you testified. And did you eat?
What's the big deal? I ate a ham sandwich.
What are we doing for chips? Did you have anything to drink?
But I'm sorry, sir. Did you laugh?
I like how he's handling it. Yeah, I probably did laugh if somebody told a joke. Probably did.
I'm pretty sure you fucking laughed, didn't you, sir?
I can't stop laughing.
ham sandwich.
Did you testify at some
Ham
point
sandwich.
that after you had something to eat, you just stood in the corner?
I did. I just sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich, or did more go on?
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Certainly, I'm sure I did. So. I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I don't know if I laughed. I guess I could have laughed.
Yeah, if something funny was said, he probably did laugh. Like all of this, very dismissive of it because it doesn't matter.
Because he laughed and ate a ham
And
sandwich.
eating ham sandwiches and guffawing at all the hilarious jokes. I mean, this is fun.
It is ridiculous.
At this point, I don't even remember.
Oh, I can't. This is my first time hearing this. This is my first time hearing this. Oh my God.
Fucking absurd.
And how funny that ham sandwich has entered the chat, because Saul Wackler, the Chief Justice of New York, once famously said that a good prosecutor could get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. And that's what they did in this case. They indicted Karen Reed for bogus charges.
I don't have one piece of facts, so let me just lie.
A lot of experts don't know what to do with those types of questions because
YK didn't know what to say.
I don't know. Maybe he thought Hank Brennan was going to ask him about the abrasions, about the injuries to John O'Keefe's arm or the lack thereof. Maybe he thought he was going to ask him about stuff relevant to the case.
This is ridiculous. This isn't even funny that this is where Brennan is going.
No.
This is absolutely a travesty.
Everything that he's saying is fucking
What
ridiculous.
I want to know is he's just making shit up.
It's what's happening in front of the jury that could be prejudicial.
This line of cross-examination after the direct has just gone sideways into ridiculousness.
But this is Hank Brennan being a total asshole. As
Terry S., another new person in the chat. Hello, welcome. Thanks for
Welcome, Terry S.
and most of the trial. Listen up.
How long were you at the table eating your ham sandwich with the folks?
How can he make ham sandwich seem like an insult? Ham sandwich.
How are we making a ham sandwich sound scandalous? How is this a thing?
He keeps like saying the ham sandwich thing mockingly. He's super upset about the ham sandwich.
The scandal that is the ham sandwich, seriously? That's what we're doing?
Ham sandwich.
That ham sandwich.
That's not kosher.
Can somebody get Brennan a fucking sandwich? He is so salty.
So he asked Hank Brennan, oh, where did you go, Ed? What happened there? He asked Hank
I'm
Brennan,
back. What happened?
He asked Hank Brennan how long it would take to consume a ham sandwich. And we have a response to that, Ed. We do have a response to it.
Okay. Hit me.
Here's our response.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole. You dick.
There's Mr. Brennan eating not one, but two ham sandwiches.
Did you get chips?
What kind of chips did you have? What's your favorite kind of chip?
What kind of bread did you have?
Sour cream and onion? No. That's a lot if you're going to travel. Vinegar? All dressed?
What about a pickle? Did you have a pickle on there?
The question is, does he have mayo or mustard?
Did you put any mayo on there? What about any mustard?
He probably has mayo.
Did you use spicy mustard or was it Dijon?
Lindsay says both mayo and mustard. Wow.
Or was it just regular mustard?
So this is what I use.
Oh my God.
Nice.
I like my mustard spicy.
Just like you like your women.
Oh, that would be Chinese and spicy, but that's another story.
They're enjoying the event. How long do you think
I
that
wish
went
you'd
on?
say, sure, this was after.
I honestly don't know. 10 minutes. How long does it take you to eat the ham sandwich? 10 minutes?
And after you,
I've been eating mine this whole stream. So
stood in the corner.
The jury at this point's not raising an eyebrow about somebody eating a sandwich.
In the corner.
I did. I just sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich? Or did more go on?
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Certainly, I'm sure I did. So.
Did you laugh a lot?
I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed.
Oh, that's so funny.
with the attorneys after testifying.
Any of those wounds a puncture in your mind?
I don't make medical diagnoses, so I'm not going to comment on that, sir.
Well, you talked about x-rays and injury. I know you don't make medical diagnosis, but you were very
Ooh, the sarcasm.
about what this was. Not a laceration, right? It is a superficial abrasion.
Could you please stop being an utter twat?
That was what was diagnosed by the medical records, yes, sir.
You were very careful to make that distinction.
He took the information from the ME. The ME said superficial abrasions, so he said superficial abrasions. Regina George wore cargo pants and a tank top and flip-flops. So I got cargo pants, a tank top, and flip-flop. What? Brennan, what?
But also, is he now trying to get Dr. Rentschler to negate the punctate wounds that were noted by Dr. La Posada?
Yes. Even
I
though
don't think you're allowed to do that.
he has filed continuously to keep him from testifying on medical. So he's now using the own crutch he gave Bev to strike him down against him.
He didn't make a diagnosis. He took it from the ME's report.
You were critiquing Dr. Welch.
Sustained.
Right.
Shut up.
Sure, it's broken like that, and I've never seen a case where you get these types of abrasions.
I didn't ask you that.
Well, he's going to tell you anyway.
Oops. I answered it that way.
Is that funny?
No, it's not funny.
So
He didn't even laugh. He like kind of smirked. He didn't even laugh.
Is that funny?
Fuckbag.
No, it's not funny.
You're funny. You're funny. I think you're funny, Hank.
I'm going
I think your
to
questions are
strike
stupid.
the comment. Next question.
So do I amuse you, Hank? Huh? How am I funny, Hank? Huh? You stuttering prick.
He's like, it's not funny. And I was like, yes, it is. This is hilarious, actually.
I would have loved for him to say, yeah, it kind of was actually it kind of was funny. Honestly, this whole thing you're doing is pretty ridiculous.
I love
Am I
it.
funny? Ha. How am I funny?
Next question, Mr. Brennan. No more
Admonish
comments.
him.
She's told Brennan no more comments twice now in this, if not 3 times in this cross-examination.
No more comments, Mr. Brennan. And within 5 minutes, of course, we have more comments.
This is exactly what they've been discussing at sidebar, in my opinion. The constant badgering, the constant nasty, snarky comments that he's making about to every witness that the defense has called, that the judge is allowing because she has zero control over her courtroom, despite the fact that she's Kim Jong-un. She has zero control over Hank Brennan.
Kim Jong.
Why? Why? The world is watching.
Do you notice how Jackson is now speaking up more in front of the jury? And he does it immediately after Brennan says something snarky.
And normally I would be like, Jackson, you can't just yell over the court. But it seems to be the only way that the court is going to say anything to Brennan.
And he's right. And he's highlighting it for the jury. So they see it and they see he's pissed off. And they then hear the judge saying, no more comments, sustained, strike that. Incredibly important for the jury to hear all of that in that sequence.
This is not the way ethical prosecutors behave, you guys. It's just not. It's just not. And I'm sorry if I get wicked mad, but I get wicked mad because this hurts my soul. This hurts my soul to watch this go on and to watch this clown show happen in America in 2025. It hurts my soul.
Because it's wild.
And this should not be happening.
Had talked quite a bit about Dr. Welcher's test with the paint, so I want to ask you some questions about that.
Sure.
Were
I
you
wanna
ever
hear it.
under the impression that Dr. Welcher was trying to reenact the actual collision when he did that blue test?
Now is where
Later, Glenn. Appreciate you coming by. Don't be a
Bye,
star.
Glenn.
Hank Brennan is going to decide to nuke his own case.
Brennan is so over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's actually bearing his own case.
He was holding a glass. He was dressed as the victim. He was completely dressed as the victim. So based on the cosplay, yes, I thought he was LARPing what happened in the accident.
Pretty clearly, that's what he intended to do.
If he wasn't, then what is the fucking point?
If he wasn't intending to model this, then there's no reason to do it, and there's no support for his conclusion.
What would be the fucking point of it and its relevance?
What else do you think he's doing?
I'm going to lose my shit. If your proposition is that he was not trying to reenact the test becomes legally irrelevant.
But also, based on everything that he did, yes, I thought he was trying to recreate it. I thought he was trying to reenact it. Yes, I did.
If it was just random musings, what the fuck is it being doing as an exhibit in this case? What kind of fucking bullshit is this?
If it's not trying to recreate what happened to John O'Keefe, then you're trying to mislead the jury.
Kurt, did you put your hat on so that we couldn't see the steam coming out of your ears as readily? I'm going to allow it.
Bet you are.
Well, that was the only test he performed, and he referenced that test for his opinion that the position and orientation of the lacerations are consistent with the taillight cover. So if that test was not intended to signify or demonstrate the position of the arm, he has no evidence to say the position and orientation of the arm in the lacerations, which are abrasions, are consistent with the taillight cover. That's the only test he did. So if it doesn't represent that, it's really meaningless in his analysis and conclusions.
If his test didn't demonstrate that, he did nothing. His testimony was completely worthless.
He's like, are you saying your own expert's test is actually just hot garbage? Because I'll agree with you. But like, then what are you doing here, Brennan?
Now that you've shared your opinions, can I get back to my question?
Fuck you.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
Mr. Brent.
Why are you telling Jackson to stop? Brennan has done it over and over and over, and you've said no more comments, Brennan. And he keeps doing it, and you don't say shit to him.
She already told him to stop with the comments. Dang, get him. Get him. That's the sidebar that Hank needs to tighten up here because this is about to get ugly.
Totally inappropriate. Jackson objects. The judge is not controlling Hank Brennan. She is not controlling this courtroom.
And I just dropped the link for Next Witness's channel in the chat. So if you're not subscribed and you don't get to watch these awesome LawTuber reacts, you need to get
missing out.
You're missing out. It's good stuff.
Way that she
Love this channel.
Control the courtroom. And when she doesn't, Jackson has enough.
He has been pretty patient this trial with the way Brennan has done cross. Seems the patience have worn out.
And he's like, you know what, Judge? If it's a free-for-all, then I'm going to start swinging too.
This is like a child who has no ramifications for his behavior. Parents, you know what I'm talking about. What you allow continues.
The court established yesterday, if you keep asking, she'll change her mind. And that's on the judge.
He apparently has been asking at sidebar for Brennan to be admonished, and mommy will not admonish Brennan.
Jackson's not shutting up. He's not sitting down, Judge. He says in front of the jury, I want him to be admonished. And then the judge brings them up.
He's right. He said, I am asking you to admonish Mr. Brennan.
And she should admonish him in front of the jury.
Yeah, it's time to admonish.
Yeah,
him.
go sidebar, Judge.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Hank.
Thank you, Jackson, for finally
Yes,
saying
Jackson,
it.
thank
You must admonish him because this asshole clearly needs admonishment now. And you should do it in front of the jury.
A little bit.
She doesn't admonish him in front of the jury. I think she should have, but she does sustain the objection, tell the jury to disregard things, strike it when he says stuff like that. So it's very clear that Jackson is winning on these points, and the jury picks up on that.
Jackson did.
Yeah, he's sick of it. And she's sick of
And
her
he
just
should
letting
be.
it happen.
And he should be, because it's bullshit. You know how many
Yes.
times she's made comments to Jackson? Keep the comments to yourself, Mr. Jackson.
At what point are the lawyers in court going to lose their mind? Apparently, this is the point. Because you haven't said anything to him other than no more comments.
Hank's floundering.
Floundering.
That's the word I can come up with.
And it's making me think at this point, Hank Brennan doesn't care about an appeal.
Yeah.
Floundering.
It's even worse than floundering, though.
It's floundering. He's fucking flopping around like a fish pulled out of water.
He's like, if I win now, I can move on. I did my job. If it gets appealed, that's the next guy's problem.
off the line. Can't pick it up because it's too slippery.
So yeah, at some point you stand up in court and you yell.
Wait, why have we gone to OnlyFans? What the hell's going on?
Is the court just putting all the lawyers in timeout?
What's happening?
So it will be the lunch and recess, and we'll take an hour.
All right, support, please.
Wow. So they ended it there. Come on, man.
That's a good place to end now. Anyways, if you're not subscribed to Next Witness, go get subscribed. It's easy. It's free. You got to be subscribed here if you want to chat. We learned our lesson a long time ago. No more lessons. And I'm trying something out. I put all these in a playlist, so it's just going to play them instead of me having 400 tabs open. And if we need to stop it and see what it is, we will. But I can change it and go the other way, but I'm going to try this. So this is like a bunch of news clips and little Turtleboy videos. And we're coming back from 3 years ago, so it's not from recent stuff. Not a lot of it is anyway.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you repping.
Apache Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Wichita, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Naperville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and bake them with you. Funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah. Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How is that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's my doctor, but get out of my store, please. You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody. You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog out.
Let's get this party started.
All right, we're at Michael Proctor's house. No, it's got a ring camera. There's two cars in the driveway. Hi, Elizabeth and Michael. I'm not sure if you guys are home right now. I'll try again one more time. Not sure if you guys are home right now, but there's two cars here. I don't hear the dogs barking. Oh, oh. Spoke too soon. All right. So it doesn't appear. See if they're here. Yeah, doesn't appear as if they're here. I don't know. Like there's two cars here, so. What's up? Oh, there's a kid. Oh. That means mom's home.
He will go to anybody's house and knock on the door. That's why I like it. It just walk right up to your door and knock, which you should be able to do. You know what I mean?
No fucks given.
Unless you put up a no loitering or no trespassing sign, then people can knock on your door, even if you don't like it. is obviously.
All right. So I guess the dog's under control. So I guess that's that, huh? All right. I guess she doesn't want to talk. So, all right. Get the plates.
All right, let's go to this one. This is his views from 31 and 33 Fairview from 2 years ago. Canton cover up. So, you know what's.
All right, we're on Fairview Road. We're going to go over here to 31 Fairview and just knock on the door. So look at how close that is. Look at that angle right there from 31 Fairview. It's got a ring right there. And again, look at that angle right there. How could it not pick it up? That's where the body was dropped. It's the perfect angle.
They have wide lenses too.
I mean, look at that right there. That wouldn't pick it up. Look at that. I mean, there's a car in the driveway, right? Someone's got to be home. All right, doesn't look like they're going to answer. I could ring one more time. Because again, this is astounding. Look how close that is. It's right there.
I can even put my camera up there and see what you
Yeah. Like that's the view it would have gotten.
That's the exact view.
Wow. It's right there. Okay. All right, on to the next one. Let's go to 30.
It would have been good for seeing when cars left too to verify the timeline, you know?
Oh, totally. It would have, if anything, it would have a perfect view of her car leaving.
Yeah.
Because she went south. Or if it, like, there would be, because the ring camera picks up noises. Like, it would have picked up noises from it.
Would see the headlights.
Yep. So now we're going to go to 31 Fairview Road. Knock on this door. Another one that would have, so there's 34 Fairview. And that's where the body was, right between the flagpole, again, and closer to the fire hydrant. Right there, okay? Right where the mulch starts. Somehow her car propelled him up that far. And again, look, it's not a big lawn. Like Matt McCabe's standing in the window and looks outside, sees her car do a 3-point turn right there, and doesn't see anything else. Like doesn't see, he says he sees V-shaped tire marks, but doesn't see a gigantic body lying in the snow. So here's 31 Fairview, another one. But they have a ring camera. We'll see what they say. 33 Fairview, rather. Another ring camera. Everyone's got ring, huh?
Now, this is a neighbor's house, right?
This is a neighbor's house, correct. It's across the street, and that is the view that their ring camera would have. they would certainly have if John went into the house, because Karen dropped him right off in that driveway. On the Ring, can't they get a notification on their phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they can see me wherever they are.
Yeah.
I'm here, and I mean you no harm. Just have a couple questions. We're trying to get justice for John O'Keefe. Figured you might like to help. An innocent man was murdered across the street from you, and just kind of wanted to see if you had footage or if the police asked for footage at all. So I'm not sure if anyone's hearing this right now, but you can reach me on Facebook at Clarence Woods Emerson or email me turtleboysports@gmail.com. I'd love to know. Thank you. All right. All right, let's go to 34 Fairview. So again, this is Karen pulls in from Cedar Crest over there. Pulls up here. John jumps out.
So that was 31 and 33. Fairview. All right, and the next one is when he was at the Rolling Rally about 2 years ago. Yeah.
We'll have to look for Sweet Woman on there.
Yeah. Gotta look for them boots on the ground, people, because they'd be up in here. There's lots of rats. Lots of rats. And some of them are really, I mean, you are for sure beat. Oh, crap. Music.
Aw, come on with the music.
What's up, Lorraine?
Yay! Lalene's here.
Hey guys.
What's happening?
How you
Catching up
doing?
on Rat House Media.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an eventful couple days.
I haven't even watched Turtleboy last night. I'm so far behind.
We had some bigger visitors last night.
What happened? I haven't got to watch yet. Tell me.
Let's see. Microdocs told us Friday he loves the channel, which is the second or third time. So he shouted us out. Not shouted us out. I was telling him his new video was fucking killer.
Yeah, that was an awesome video he made.
And he was like, "Yeah, I've been watching your." I was like, "Oh shit." No, I didn't expect that, but
I mean, he has the option to turn it off, so you must be doing something right.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Exactly.
Look at all the people that are not here. But anyways, and then last night we were goofing, and I was about to play a video that I really saved for you and Janine because it's a younger creator. She only had like 10 subs. She sounded a little bit more polished than 10 subs, so I played that right before I played it to do somebody else a favor. Not really a favor. I mean, it was a good video. Broken Baker was in the chat. I was like, oh, shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
He hung out for a while last night. Yeah, got a couple more of these Turtleboy videos. Then we're going to watch the direct of Wrenchler on the LawTube Reacts. So, just a
Sorry,
bunch
it just started raining here. Watch the direct of what?
of Wrenchler on LawTube
okay.
Reacts on Next Witness. Who
Yeah.
also said they were coming by because I commented on one of their videos and then they commented back.
Yeah. I think they have a 1 and 2 on Wrenchler now.
Yeah, so we're gonna play them both. We just got through playing Wrenchler's Cross.
Yeah.
A few videos
Sounds
ago.
good. I stayed up all night researching case law, so I've been working on an appeal for like a day and a half straight, so I needed a break.
Yeah.
Welcome to it. You know, we put more people to sleep than Ambien. You don't need Ambien.
Well, I just woke up, so I'm good. You can't put me to sleep right now. I've got my wine and I'm ready to listen to my friend.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Once upon a time, you dressed so fine.
Nope. I'm already gonna get dinged for that. Should have listened to that all the way.
You can't even play Bob Dylan.
Not even close. You can if you post it in a video for some reason, but I'm just
Yeah, in a short.
that one out. Yeah, shorts or a regular video, but you can't do it while you're on here, I guess. And if you're monetized, you can't do it exactly.
Oh,
I
that's dumb.
actually took my son to see Bob Dylan last year. He came here and played, and he never got up from the piano, but it was still good.
Well, we'll
That's
jump
so
to
cool.
Let me see what the video is. Oh, this is the hot mic. This is good.
Fucking random citizens, he said. Like, that's what he thinks of you people in Canton. Hi, John Connolly. This is a random fucking citizen calling you. Just want to see what you're up to right now. Want to talk about the controversy that's going on in your town. Maybe you're not aware of it. See, there's this thing called the internet. I understand a man of your stature probably really doesn't know how to work the internet machine, but on this internet thing, there's people from all over the world who are talking about what's happening in your town right now. And it's not good news. It's actually the opposite. It's really, really bad. And you sit next to there. I don't know if the guy next to you, they call him Chicken Parm Charlie. That guy killed someone. I don't know if you know that. He literally killed someone. And now it looks like his son might have done the same thing too. So it runs in the family. I don't know if you're aware of that, but he also called me a loser. I came to stimulate your economy one day. I was going to buy his mediocre chicken parm. I'd be the first. And he kicked me out of the store. He called me a loser. And then some other lady wore a free Karen Reed shirt to the Waterfall Bond Girl. She's trying to stimulate the economy. And guess what? He calls her a loser and accuses her of giving me a blowjob. Did you know that, John? Yeah, that's happening in your town. So you got to get on this, John. You know, I just want to talk about this. I'm thinking about coming to a meeting soon. I'm not a random fucking citizen, though. I'm a little bit more. I'm an award-winning journalist. I don't know if you know about that. I'm going to have some questions for you and for your buddy Chicken Palm Charlie. And I think there's going to be a lot of people there. Like you're going to need a bigger town hall. You're going to need a bigger town hall. So give me a call back when you get this, pal. And, take good care of yourself. You look like you're in great shape. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Hilarious. This. He's trolling Chris Albert. Missed it because I never do that right.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Board, and community. And our president, the cooperating agents, give a gift card and many more prizes. We had volunteers from the National Charity League, the Google Chapter.
That's so funny. Wow, that's so funny.
Thanksgiving meal for veterans and their families as well. So this is just something. That's all I have. Great job on everything. Thank you. That channel was awesome. Thank you.
All right. Watch Law 2 Reacts direct examination of Dr. Wrenchler.
Good morning.
Yeah, no.
Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Happy hump day.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be, and welcome to what is potentially the last day for the defense.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Nervous? Feeling good?
Did anybody wake up today with like a new sense of purpose, a new feeling of hope?
It's the tail end of the defense case.
We started Dr. Wrenchler.
The good doctor. The other half of Crash Daddy.
Crash Daddy the second, Andrew Wrenchler, the biomechanical engineer.
Yesterday, and it didn't seem like the defense had a lot more questions to him. And hanky-panky, an hour and a half, Your Honor. So 5 hours, something like that.
This trial not only is going to be over soon, but we are very soon going to hear the magic words "not guilty." Did anybody else get that feeling?
And Other than that, we will have some rebuttal.
And that's going to be Dr. Welcher to rebut the ARCA testing. Hartnett from the lab, who I imagine the defense is going to ask about those cuttings on the back of John O'Keefe's hoodie and swabbing the sleeve of John O'Keefe's hoodie. And then the person from UC Davis that tested the swabs and said that there was no dog DNA.
Guys, we could be done today. We could be done today.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, please, if you have not already.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell.
Let's get to it.
Good morning, jurors. I have to ask you those same three questions. Were you all able to follow my instructions and refrain from discussing this case?
Oh, I
with
just
anyone
want to speed
since we
up.
left yesterday?
Oh, I know.
Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Were you also able to follow the
The
instructions?
sun
and
is so
refrain from doing
bright
any
coming into that
independent
courtroom right now.
research or investigation into this case?
It looks like a sunny day in Massachusetts.
Did anyone happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case since we left here yesterday?
Unfortunately, yes.
Everyone said no or shook their heads. Thank you. Can we have
Can't-
Dr. Rentschler again?
Can't escape. Can't stop, won't stop.
Needs one of those ugly curtains on the other side to match that curtain, because now the sun is coming out of the other window and it's right in her face. So that ugly hospital curtain that they got from wherever they got it from, it's not doing the full-on job. Good morning, Eugenia, my favorite court officer.
We're going to zoom as Dr. Rentschler takes the witness stand. It's very tall.
Did you prepare a PowerPoint presentation to?
What's up, Dana? Hello, Dana.
Dina,
Dana.
good to see you.
Yes.
Illustrate the analysis and methodology in your review and testing of this case?
I did, yes, sir.
Did you bring that with you today?
I did indeed.
Your Honor, I have a flash drive. I'd like to have Martha as next in order.
Okay. Is there an objection?
Not for identification.
Okay, so it's not for identification.
He's going to save his objections for when, comes time to enter it into evidence, or each slide individually he'll object to. We'll be here all damn day.
So the purpose of my investigation in this matter was to evaluate the evidence, and particularly as it pertains to the alleged theory of what occurred in this case.
All right, so I'm going to strike that answer and ask the question again.
Sure.
Why can't he say
Did you
alleged?
seek to
It is alleged.
undertake an analysis?
It is a list. It hasn't been proven.
Yeah, alleged theory.
Analysis.
It's going to be a long day.
Apertures testing or part of their testing.
They're allowed
I
to
did, yes, sir.
testify.
With regard to that testing, what was the reason that you undertook to
evaluate the
analyze
evidence in this case.
apertures
That's
testing?
literally what they're here to do. They're rebuttal experts. They're rebuttal
Ultimately,
experts.
in receipt of
They're literally rebuttal experts. Their job is to evaluate apertures testing. That's literally the reason that they're here.
based on his reporting and his PowerPoint presentation.
So I want to see you both at sidebar for just a minute, please.
We got to have a series of objections and sidebars because you see the defense is rebutting the Commonwealth's case, you see, and we can't have that.
They did testing. We did testing.
Hank Brennan is going to fight like hell to keep it out because he knows his case is over. It's over. It's over now. Boz Skaggs said it best.
She doesn't want him critiquing the job that is that what this is going to, you think?
We can't have that. Dr. Welcher's analysis, very critical to a Commonwealth victory here. So we can't have holes poked in the analysis.
Now he's going to kick and scream, pull out the binkies and the boss baby emojis because he's got nothing else now. He's grasping at not just straws, wet paper straws, the kind they give you at McDonald's that last for 30 seconds until they're mush.
It's like semantical nitpicking that's so fucking stupid.
If the jury's already getting pissed and they want to go home and they're done and they have their minds made up, Hank calling for a sidebar every 5 minutes is not going to make them feel all warm and fuzzy this morning. It's just not.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of having experts is to say that the other expert sucks and that they're wrong.
So you have to continuously go through this process. And that's what experts do. That's how you perform an analysis, and that's what's important. You know, I have 3 kids. I have a 9-year-old who's actually.
So I'm going to ask you to wait.
Don't tell anybody about your kids,
sure.
Was
please.
there an
Trust me
example
on
that
that.
you could use of sort of a real world example that you might want to use to explain some or part of the scientific method?
There is, yeah, and I would like to explain an example of what's important with that. So I was going to say I have 3 kids.
It is his son Kai's 10th birthday.
Happy birthday, Kai! And I have 2 older ones.
Objection, Your Honor. No personal shout out on the stand. This is
shout outs.
This is against the rules. At least we need a $5 super chat for birthday wishes. So, Your Honor, I move to strike. Kai, get your wishes.
$5 per birthday shout out.
Poor Kai. Can't even get a birthday shout out.
Can't even get a shitty birthday shout out in court.
No, he got the most birthday shout outs that day from all the YouTubers in chat, though.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
It did help, didn't it? I guess it went more viral than Hank thought.
Yeah.
Make it $10, Hank.
Should have just left it alone.
Because for those laughs, most people will pay.
Another
And how
place.
silly of an objection is that? Like,
It's just silly.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched it 200 times, and it's just as silly now as it was then.
Christmas is canceled.
Dad's on TV. Happy birthday, Kai.
We're gonna stop this. Another example.
We're gonna stop this.
Less editorializing.
Minus all the personal.
I'm sorry, Your Honors.
Go ahead.
He did object to it. I said it as a joke because I thought you're so petty.
Happy birthday, Kai!
Happy birthday to Kai.
Happy birthday, Kai. Everyone say happy birthday, Kai.
All 30,000 of you are like, happy birthday, Kai.
Happy birthday, Kai.
Happy birthday, Kai.
Happy birthday, Kai.
Hey, shout out to Kai.
So about 150,000 people shouted out.
At minimum, because of that.
Yeah. And the other creators we don't even know about doing the same thing. It's just ridiculous. But
Kai Wrenchler, you the man.
yeah, Kai's got a massive video for his birthday now with all the top law tubers telling him happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Kai. Kai gets a birthday shout out in a trial that is covered internationally. The judge was like, hey, stop.
That's enough. Use a different example.
Why is it that the Commonwealth witnesses are allowed to narrate and drone on and on and on without questions, and you're not going to allow him to throw in a personal anecdote?
Not all the personal details. Right in front of the jury.
Shut that down.
Well, while we have a moment, let's take this opportunity to wish a very happy 10th birthday to Kai.
Hey, Kai, from your friendly friend in Denmark. I know you don't watch this channel. You should. Well, you absolutely shouldn't because you're 9 years old and I have Jamie on this channel. But
we should sing happy birthday to Dr. R's kid because the judge really shut him down when he said happy birthday, Kai.
Sorry, this nasty old twat on the stand isn't gonna let your dad give you a shout out.
because Hank Brennan is a twat waffle and canceled your birthday and your lovely dad's birthday wish to you, I would, on behalf of all 221 people watching us right now, wish you a happy 10th, double digits birthday.
Happy birthday to ya.
I mean, you couldn't pay. You couldn't afford to fucking pay for that many birthday shout outs for your kids.
No.
You couldn't even come close to getting that many people to be in concert of doing it, like, because remember that lasted all day.
Yeah.
It's like I just next one, and
People even changed their username to Happy Birthday Kai.
oh my god.
I remember that.
It's an amazing time in your life. Only 3 more years till you'll be a teenager.
Happy birthday to ya.
So eat your spinach.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Yes, happy birthday to Kai. We've said that. A bunch of the chats coming in here to wish Kai a happy birthday because we can do that. It's my YouTube channel. I can wish somebody happy birthday if I want to. There's no judge telling me I can't.
Take your vitamins. Say your prayers. Yeah.
All right, that's from your dad.
Yeah, that's from your dad, because Judge Bev shut him down.
Then he kind of explains the paint test. He explains what he does with what he looks at, what is important, what is not.
So again, you just feel it from him that he's just offended by this. He said, first of all, that pain transfer test, it doesn't describe force or energy. And that's what biomechanics do. That's what we do. We don't just paint things and dress up.
Talks about superficial abrasions being very different from lacerations.
And you can see the slide says laceration. Mr. O'Keefe did not have lacerations on his arm. It's superficial abrasions. To put lacerations on, that's simply incorrect. He was.
What did he have?
He was diagnosed with superficial abrasions.
Is there a difference between a laceration and an abrasion?
There's a distinct difference, both biomechanically and medically, yes.
And then you also say it's a laceration when it's not a laceration. The medical records describe the injuries to John O'Keefe's arms as superficial abrasions. There's a very important distinction there. And when you're a biomechanical engineer, you have to understand the difference. And here you got Dr. Welcher. The first step, this is what he said, the first step is understanding what the wounds are.
Abrasions are much less severe than lacerations.
There were no diagnosed or references to fractures on any part of his right arm or hand.
He talks about there were no fractures to the right hand or arm.
Did you look at x-rays? Were there x-rays?
He looked at the x-rays himself, and he did that in his training and experience. He's done it before with surgeons, and he did that here.
Okay.
He's
X-rays.
going to take over the TV screen.
Sure.
If that's okay, Your Honor?
Yes.
X-rays.
I'll get the right nomenclature in just a second. This is one of the exhibits, one of 3 exhibits that was introduced yesterday. Do you recognize what's depicted
Yes.
on this?
We've never seen the x-rays before, shockingly, but not really.
That's the X-ray of Mr. O'Keefe's right hand taken January
Oh, God, his
31st, I
hand.
believe.
Did you review this in furtherance of your analysis?
I did, yes, sir.
If they bring Welcher back, one of the big questions is going to be, you said there were no x-rays. What are these?
I just want to be over on Cleven's channel right now because him and Koofy Deefy was spiraling hard when they found out that there was x-rays.
And so if I'm Aperture, I'm in a real bad spot because if I go back up on the stand, I got to explain how I got this wrong.
There's a guy, I don't know who he is, called Furious George, who, well, I don't even think it's real x-rays. And someone went in there and said, no, and it's not CT scans either. It looks more like some kind of bone photographing machine. And I'm thinking, that's an x-ray.
This is some of the stuff Brendan wanted to keep out. And he explained how it's important to look at the clothing and things like that. And he said 36 superficial abrasions on the arm.
Conservatively, there's about 36 superficial abrasions on John O'Keefe's arms, and there's only 9 puncture holes in his sweatshirt.
Only 9 defects in the right sleeve.
So you got 9 defects in the sleeve, but 36 injuries that had to get through that sleeve to his arm. Okay. So how does that happen, folks?
So how does that add up? He doesn't really understand that either.
Is it shards of plastic or polycarbonate coming from the tail light and penetrating through the defects there and causing? No. There was none of that was in the wounds. None of that was inside.
It's inconsistent, according to him, with the theory of the tail light somehow puncturing the holes in the sweatshirt and creating these 36 superficial abrasions.
It's completely inconsistent with being hit with a shattering taillight. And he doesn't need to prove that it was a dog bite. He doesn't need to prove that it was a dog scratch, right? That's not what he's here to do. He's here to prove couldn't have happened from the taillight.
But the dog, when the dog claws through and bites through, once their teeth are on the other side of the cloth in the sleeve, it stays in those openings and then loosens their bite or moves their claws and then shifts and then rebites while still having their teeth. So you have the 9 defects.
I am still pissed that we didn't get to see Garrett Wing testify. You know, that would have been cool to see how.
I know, that would have been so good.
I kind of wish he would go on the shows like the FBI guy did and talk about what his testimony was going to be and like what his prep was.
We would have enjoyed that day. We were waiting, and it didn't happen. Fuck. I wanted to see that.
We got a lot of good ones though.
Yeah, but I think Garrett Wing would have given it back to Hank about as good as Hank giving it to fucking Wrenchler.
Yeah, he would have been another contender for like the La Posada and Wrenchler comebacks for sure.
He would have got one in for sure.
Account for multiple injuries or wounds to John O'Keefe's arm by a dog, not by shards of plastic.
I did, yes.
And what is that conclusion?
That they're inconsistent with striking the taillight or being produced as a result of contact with the taillight.
Why did you come?
No surprise. We knew that was going to be his answer. The fact that that is his answer and that is his opinion is not a surprise. Why? Why is that your opinion? And can you convince the jury that the science and the data back that up?
Why did you come to that conclusion?
There's a number of reasons.
Could be one of the most important pieces of testimony today. The injuries to the arm are not consistent with being hit by a taillight. There it is. You heard him say it. And now he's going to explain why.
That I came to. First of all, the abrasions, the numbers don't correspond to the number of holes or
sustained.
Did you consider, without counting the number of abrasions and the number of holes, did you consider the abrasions?
I did, yes.
Did you consider the sweatshirt?
I did.
What else did you consider?
I considered that it was not possible to line up 36 different abrasions with
Don't protest us too much.
Excuse me. I have no problem with ARCA coming in. I have welcomed ARCA. Also, objection, 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 and screw your son.
Is it sunny out today? Objection. Where? We forgot to ask where. It's not sunny in Korea right now because the sun has gone down. Move to strike, Your Honor. Move to strike.
I'm going to strike that answer.
He gets into the fact that Aperture basically was just eyeballing it and drawing these yellow lines that he puts up here and saying this is about where it happened, but they didn't line up any of it.
There were no measurements at all taken with respect to that test. No measurements with respect to where the contact happened on the car or on the arm.
Aren't engineers like a big fan of measurements and numbers and stuff?
This is why they need to do the science thing.
Pretty simple, right? Like that's pretty simple. Eyeballing it is not scientific. Shocker, right? Big shocker there.
So in this slide, the picture on the far left is the photographs provided from the autopsy in hospital with Mr. O'Keefe's right arm fully extended. Again, those are the only photographs we have.
What about the photograph in the middle and to the far right?
In the middle and the far right, what I did was actually take that arm and then rotate the forearm to put it in a position that it would be in as demonstrated by the paint test with the arm at approximately 90 degrees.
Okay, look, I appreciate what he's doing. Here's what's interesting about this. Any of you tried to do like a wing liner, depending on your eyelids? Sometimes you know how it just skips. If you have more of a hooded eyelid, I have more of a hooded eyelid. And if you try to do the wing liner, it skips and then you move. Right. It's the same thing. If the arm's bent, you've got one of the injuries to the arm underneath the arm because of the way the arms bend.
Also, he points out the fact that the abrasions are not all horizontal, which you would expect if the car was moving in a consistent direction. You would expect all of the wounds to be in the same direction.
The way the scratches are going in kind of different directions doesn't make sense with a taillight coming across, scraping it the same way.
And if you look at his arm, they just simply aren't. Some are vertical, some are, quite frankly, didn't have a direction because it was just all over the place.
There's just no evidence of that. There's no steps taken to demonstrate how, if that's even possible, would that actually occur in a case like that. First, you have to show it's possible. I saw no peer-reviewed articles, no research data, and the only test that was done that links the injuries to the taillight cover is this paint test.
And that's about as much as you can smash someone else's testimony. And he smashed it so much, and he's offended personally by this.
The arm was leaned into the car.
In which the elbow was shot forward, and then the arm and upper arm was leaned into and against the cover. So you can see, even at this point, as the car approaches, it would not contact the elbow or the biceps. So as it comes in, watch the elbow. All of a sudden, shoot in. Surrogate turns his arm in and then leans against the light cover.
You see how he very, very much leans in and he smears his arm against the paint?
So this is not indicative of someone standing there and having a car back into their arm.
He agrees. That test shows there is a way you can line the elbow up with the height and distance with the taillight. But that's all it shows. And it's important to talk about what a test or experiment does show and what it doesn't show. It doesn't show that you could break the taillight. It doesn't show that there's enough force to break the taillight, not break the arm.
But
this was a study where they used an impactor and they contacted the door.
Yeah, that was bad. Y'all paid a lot of money for that test. $400 and something thousand for a blue paint.
I was watching Baker this morning, and I think it was on Baker. He had the receipts for the clothes that Welcher bought, and his underwear was like $25, $100 pair of jeans.
He bought
Why?
underwear.
They didn't show.
I mean,
the
why did he
blood or
buy
vomit
anything?
Underwear? Why have the underwear on too? That was ridiculous.
That's a little much.
Yeah, but we paid for that too. We paid for his underwear.
You go buy some of the same condoms.
I can tell you, if the FBI supposedly paid over $500,000 for ARCA in round one, and they didn't do any of the testing that they did round two, so I can assure you ARCA's bill's way higher than Aperture's. It's just a good thing they hadn't time to do billing yet when the trial happened.
Right.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They deserve it.
But they were well worth their money, and Aperture was not.
Yeah, exactly.
That is apparent by the testimony.
And they're going to use it in the civil case if it actually does make it that far.
Hopefully it doesn't.
It shouldn't. I mean, it's not Bev, so it shouldn't.
Hopefully it doesn't.
We're back to the thrusting of the impactor, are we? To see how the load is distributed? Good. Good.
And after this, we're going to watch a Microdots video. We're going to watch the one about the waterfall.
Or top part of cadaver hands.
Good.
And they looked at the force that was exerted and they looked at how many fractures were produced as a result of that.
Did you review scientific literature regarding hand injuries under this sort of impact loading? Is this representative of that?
It is, yes.
Next slide, please. What is this?
So this shows the position, and this is taken directly from the Aperture
Oh,
paint
I
test.
love
You
this
can see-
slide. This is the nerdiest, most delightful shit I've ever seen. They have taken the scientific study and juxtaposed it to the study that Welcher did. Look at the nerd is so strong in this. I love it. Look at all the bendy bits of the hand. Oh, it's so good.
the position that Dr. Welcher had his hand against the tailgate right at the time of impact. And you can see that corresponds, the contact areas correspond to the areas of the hand that were actually tested in this case.
Oh, look, he's doing science. I was just like, this is awesome, where he's got actual studies, he's got actual, and he's just tearing Welcher apart.
So the hands, the bones in the hand that he's talking about, they break easy, you guys. There's no way that car would have hit a hand without breaking bones. It just wouldn't have happened ever.
Do you know what desperation looks like when you have been shilling for one side in a very long time? If not, look at the screen right now.
Well, that's more than enough to actually fracture the different bones of the elbow.
If an arm was hit at that speed with those forces, would you expect the x-rays to show no trauma, no broken bones, no fractures, no hairline fractures?
I would not expect that, no, sir.
Next slide, please.
I would not expect that. No, sir. Again, period, full stop, game over. But let's keep hammering it home. There were no fractures in his arm because all of a sudden, magically, the x-rays have appeared. He looked at the x-rays, no fractures. Dr. Laposada said no fractures to the arm or the hand.
So even at 15 miles an hour and even somewhat below that, you would expect to see a broken knuckle from the type of interaction that Welcher demoed in the paint transfer test.
He is telling you, no matter what Judd Welcher says and all of the crazy experiments that he did, that hand would have fractured.
That's like, Ed, you talk about the bones, especially in the hands and the fingers. They're so easily broken. Your wrist is easily broken.
The bones in your hand are very small, very thin. It doesn't take a lot of force to break the bones in your hand. And the
Or just
arm
to
would have likely been
dislocate
fractured.
them.
And the elbow. Hello?
Your forearm breaks pretty easy. You know, when you're getting up here to the.
What'd you say?
I said, or just to dislocate them. I know you've seen many bar fights where people dislocate their knuckles just throwing a
Yeah.
punch. I mean, you would expect to have seen at least a dislocation of a knuckle.
Nope. You ain't gonna see Jack Diddley. It's weird. It's so
Because
strange.
he wasn't hit by a car.
I know.
I just
No,
went through
never
a trial with a vehicle impact. And the
How many times have you seen someone hit by a car and only have a dog bite from it? It's weird.
It's crazy how fast that dog got out of there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know, and that was not even an issue here.
So if this impact took place, you would not expect the lack of injuries that appear on John. So 1,100 to 1,200 pounds of force on the forearm. We're already there at 10 miles an hour. By 24 miles an hour, we're up as high as 2,800 pounds of force. And yet we don't even have bruising on John's arm, not even bruising. Okay, half a ton. Drop it on John's arm, and he doesn't have a single bruise.
Do you recognize what's depicted in this slide?
I do, yes.
What is depicted here?
hilarious.
So this was hybrid. This is the 50th percentile hybrid 3, the same.
It's a very awkward junior high school dance.
This is the reenactment of Brian and Brian at the bar.
Right.
Judson.
Again, why are you holding him there? you
Yeah,
weirdos?
really.
And why
not
did he
under
put
the
his hand?
shoulders?
Hey. And again, it's Pride Month. Man love is okay, love. Why did he
Love
put
is
his hand
love.
there?
Randy, you naughty, naughty dummy.
Hybrid 3, the same dummy that we utilize. And Dr. Welcher performed a test where
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
So this ATD
It's the same one that Welcher
device
used.
was not a 95th percentile test device.
It was not, no.
It's a 50%.
Oh, wasn't that what Hanky Panky claimed?
Yeah.
I brought it out with Dr. Wolf, but it's just funny that he's bringing it up again. I love it.
Yeah.
It was a 50th percentile, yes.
Is that the same exact, not the same exact, same exact size ATD that ARCA utilized?
Well, Dr. Welcher didn't want to use one that was taller than him. I feel that very strongly. Dr. Welcher was not using the ATD, XYZ device that was going to be taller than he was.
He'd have to put
He
his
was very
hands on
proud.
his
He was like,
shoulders. then.
I am 6'1".
Look, he's hugging it out with the crash test dummy. Okay. Here's Welcher hugging it out with Randy before he drops him on his head. He's a flat lever. He's a flat lever.
It absolutely is, yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Right.
So this test,
So the jury sat through 100 years of Brennan fighting over 95th percentile versus 50th percentile for this witness to get on the stand, for the jury to be shown, look, it's the exact same one the Commonwealth's expert used. You lose the jury's patience when you fight over shit that does not have a point.
Welcher used the same 50% dummy for the drop test.
I was gonna say that dummy's grabbing his ass, but then you wouldn't know who I was talking about. You'd have to figure out which one I was calling the dummy.
Test is showing what happens when somebody falls straight back on concrete. Isn't that interesting?
While the fighting over the different size arm, when your expert used the same thing?
He did. He took a 50th percentile dummy, stood it up, and then let it drop backwards and strike its head on a concrete surface.
Concrete.
Next slide, please.
Not on frozen grass. He didn't test it on frozen grass.
If that were to occur, he would rotate or move to the left.
Vindication for Trooper Paul, because Trooper Paul may have been right about that pirouette. And I am saying that, Trooper Paul, we hereby vindicate you. You may have been correct about a potential pirouette. And Lord, you're doing the Lord's work. You were trying to reverse engineer this thing, and you did a better job than the $400,000 job that Aperture did.
Kinematics don't work by getting hit by the SUV and propelled backwards onto your head.
So
yes, exactly. He wouldn't do a flat back bump if this is the impact.
Yeah.
He would be twisting off. So why figure out again? You'll have him pirouette around, stop, and do a backdrop.
Vindication for Trooper Paul. He's the only guy sitting at home, like eating popcorn, like, I told you guys, I told you it was a pirouette.
And yeah, they need to get that in the head of the jury as well, that the entire case built by Dr. Welcher is slow and French.
If Mr. O'Keefe did that and somehow ends up falling backwards, rigid directly onto his head, he's going to have to rotate at least 270 degrees and then stop and then fall directly backwards onto his head. There's no explanation of the kinematics.
That's not how it works.
Judd Welcher thoroughly tested what would happen if you lean into the SUV with your elbow and like thrust it forward and roll and then get rotated 270 degrees and then stop and then fall forward straight backwards onto concrete. None of which is what happened in this case.
It's such a incredible example of just how much the defense had to put forth in order to fucking burst the fairy tale bullshit story that the Commonwealth has been trying to push on the public.
I know after Welcher's pissing match with Alessi, I was exhausted and I was like, I don't know if we need to see any of Welcher testifying again. But after Rentschler talked about the way that Welcher's experiment went, I'm actually kind of interested to see how that goes when he comes back. Are you?
That's going to be the $1 million question.
Are you ready? Are you ready to see Welcher come back now? I kind of am. I'm kind of ready for it. Like, bring the Welcher again. Let's ask it. Let's slow that video down. I got questions. I got questions about those x-rays. I have questions.
Theoretically, the cross-examination is limited to what was brought up on rebuttal. So if he doesn't address, weird how ARCA had the arm and elbow and hand x-rays and you didn't. If he doesn't address that on direct in his rebuttal testimony, technically it's beyond the scope to ask him about that on cross, isn't it?
Everything about this is Shakespearean. I have sometimes called Judge Cannoni Lady Macbeth because we are watching a Shakespearean tragedy unfold in real time for the second time.
I do. I'm getting a sense, guys. Bev is more gung-ho at this point about impeding the defense than Hank is. Hank is kind of given up here. I mean, he's throwing out some objections to like the leading questions and stuff like that. Bev is driving a lot of this show.
And I wonder what the ending is going to be this time.
We already know.
Thank God.
Yes. All right. This is the waterfall footage, just like frame by frame from 3 months ago.
But y'all show the latest microdots. I was showing it to Mom the other day, and she was like, "Dang, he didn't age well." And I'm like, "That's not really Chris Albert as a kid, Mom. That's."
That's hilarious. But yeah, we watched it with Glare, the new one. Thursday or Friday or something.
I haven't watched anything in so long, so but I did watch Microdots while we were at the hospital Friday in the waiting room with her.
Yeah, it was a good one. So is this? We're gonna check it out.
Microdots is a fucking.
I always get a copyright claim every time we watch one.
For his low background music that you can't even hear.
Yep, exactly.
So dumb.
Yep. Probably gonna get one for that video we played
Bob
earlier.
Dylan.
Force.
2 seconds.
Make no mistake that if this dude gets a hold of you, bro, once he picks up that set, he's not letting go.
Everything we experience is part of a chain. Every moment preceded by another. That's why in criminal investigations, detectives begin at the moment the crime occurred and work backward, piecing together what led up to it. The closer an event in time and space to what happened, the more critical it becomes. In the Reed case, there exists a rare and invaluable piece of evidence. The Waterfall video. A 75-minute continuous recording capturing the victim and the small group of people he interacted with before suffering fatal injuries. Rather than analyze its contents fully, investigators treated it as little more than a tool to tally Karen's drinks. Had they truly wanted to solve the crime, they would have done exactly what we are about to do. It's nearly 2 minutes to midnight. At the Waterfall bar, the Albert and McCabe party decide it's time to leave. They gather their belongings and start moving towards the door. Chris Albert is being playful with Jen McCabe, hiding her jacket behind his back. He hugs his niece Caitlin goodbye, since he is not attending the after party. John is facing the bar, attending to the check. Karen is engaged in conversation with Karina. Karina and husband Nick have remained supportive of her innocence since the beginning. On the date this occurred, they had known both John and the McCabes for years. As Brian Albert, his brother, Selectman Chris Albert, and ATF agent Brian Higgins move towards the exit, an interesting exchange occurs. We will watch the next 20 seconds uninterrupted, then break it down frame by frame. Let's watch again, looking closer, and try to determine what exactly is happening. Brian Higgins is looking in John's direction. Chris Albert says something to sister-in-law, Nicole, as she steps towards the door. Daughter Caitlin Albert is closest to the exit. Brian Albert enters frame right. Brian and Nicole continue. We see Higgins focused, like a laser beam on John. And Chris Albert's attention has now shifted directly onto Higgins, appearing to sense what he is about to do. Higgins goes to raise his arm and shout to the victim, but before he can even bring it above his waist, Chris Albert aggressively grabs his forearm, preventing it from happening. The significance of Chris Albert's actions cannot be overstated. They reveal clear prior knowledge, an unmistakable anticipation of hostility directed towards John. There is simply no other valid way to explain how Chris would know what Higgins was about to do before he did it. I'm not suggesting anyone intended to kill John, only that there had to have been prior discussion, if not some form of coordinated plan to confront him. Now, we can operate under the assumption that these three men know something about John's future that we do not. Chris grabs Higgins by the arm, turning him back around to face him directly. This unexpected outburst from his brother catches Brian's attention. And Higgins, whipping his head toward Chris, seems just as taken aback by the sudden hostility as we are. Notice that Chris is grasping Higgins' shirt so tightly that you can see tension in the fabric. And as much tension on his face.
I don't know what he'd be covering next. He needs to cover some other stuff. That'd be cool.
I thought he mentioned he was going to do Birchmore.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too for him. That's
Yeah,
still
definitely.
still local. So hopefully he'll have something like that out soon. But I could just rewatch all the old ones like movies.
When
Right.
Annalise came up here, she met with Richie, and he's been working with her on a case she's covering, like either New Mexico or Arizona. I forget which state, but it's somewhere in the Southwest.
When who came up there?
Annie Elise,
Oh,
Tim
Annie.
Delise,
There's a lot of people.
seriously, like all of those podcasts.
There's probably a lot of people in a lot of cases that microdose would come in handy.
Heck yeah.
Right.
Info out, you know.
Pay that man.
I mean, the defense hired him, so you can expect he's probably going to be hired by a lot of high-profile defenses in the future.
Yeah, let's hope so. You know, his subscribers and his views are really high. That's good. For that, because he was just as he's an important part of the Turtleboy ordeal. I think he's been with him in all of the things that we watch.
Yep, and even when Turtleboy was in jail, which I didn't even realize, that one video where Jen's like, "Hey, Richie," on the courthouse wheelchair ramp steps, whatever, that day.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was one thing I learned by that video I didn't know before, was that Tristan also had that. I don't know if it's considered a hit and run, but he hit 2 pedestrians. I had not heard that story.
Jesus.
Now, back
These
to
people
this.
suck.
Chris pushes Higgins' arm down to his side. He fixes him with a hard, unflinching stare. Chris releases his grip. Higgins turns his head toward Brian, deferring to his authority and seeking his approval. But Chris steps squarely in front of Higgins and puts both of his hands on him again. Higgins is rattled. Brian raises his palms facing upward, a universal gesture of confusion, questioning Chris's protest. Higgins continues to fix his gaze on John, peering over Chris's right shoulder. Meanwhile, Chris stands in a posture strikingly similar to that of a bouncer stepping in to defuse a confrontation. Higgins steps back and shifts his focus again to Chris, prompting Chris to release his grip on Higgins' left arm for the second time. Higgins stares blankly. The two men exchange a few words as Chris gestures towards the exit. Chris is trying to assert control over the situation. However, both men turn their attention to Brian Albert as he intervenes. Brian challenges Chris's position with his voice and body, causing Chris to throw up his arms in frustration. There's clearly a disagreement between the Albert brothers. It appears that Chris either disapproved of Higgins confronting John altogether, or he was uncomfortable with him doing it so publicly. I lean towards the latter. Ultimately, however, it is Brian who holds authority and makes the final.
The whole thing is right there in that conversation they're having right there.
You know it is.
The whole thing.
I just want to know what he said.
Yeah, caused all of this shit.
And is it not concerning that the defense didn't point that out in trial 1? I've never understood that.
Enough times to figure it out.
I mean, it's just like, Betterow having to come in and find that message to Nicole Albert, or that call to Nicole Albert right after Karen called Jen that morning. Like, that just bothers me that they didn't focus on all that in trial 1.
Well, I don't think that they really dove in as deep as, as Microdots did, and that's why Like, so much more was there for trial 2 because they got all that information from all the streamers and all the, other lawyers looking into it.
They had
I
this
think
video
it
in trial 1.
yeah, they did, but I think it just seems like they didn't really look deeply at it,
That's what I'm saying. That's concerning with the amount of money she's paying them.
Yeah, right.
Did somebody break it down? Maybe they just didn't
Yep.
realize it was there.
Toxic masculinity and alcohol, bad mix.
Yep. Lethal combination.
Chris is
For sure.
overruled by his older brother. Higgins has the green light and is allowed to continue. Chris submits, but is still clearly on edge. As the brothers settle the matter with a few final words, Higgins presses on.
Robin G, that is the best fucking thumbnail that I have out of these. This is episode 31. It's Robin G and Karen Reed. It's
Is her
also
picture?
yeah, and it's the
I
thumbnail.
can't see it on StreamYard. What's wrong with that, Robin G? That's great.
Nothing wrong with it. She just doesn't like looking at herself. Neither do I. I'm sitting here on video. Shit, ain't nothing broke. You'll be all right.
On, shifting his focus back to John.
It's a great book.
Even with reduced resolution and a tight zoom, Higgins's agitation is unmistakable. He appears to be incensed.
Is that not weird how it blacked out his eyes? You think the video actually did that, or did Microdot do that as an added little touch?
Chris looks like the dude in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the bad guy.
Higgins kind of looks like Michael Myers right there. He's got that Michael Myers mask or something. It's creepy as shit.
Clearly gesturing. Let's go. He briefly makes eye contact with Brian Albert, puts his hand to his forehead. Chris guides Higgins towards the door, touching his back, using his body as a physical barrier. But Higgins isn't done. Chris watches him closely. Higgins remains preoccupied with John, while Chris maintains a stance resembling someone preventing a confrontation. Pay close attention to the next sequence of frames. You'll see Chris appear to say something to Higgins, likely a command such as go or okay. In response, Higgins shows clear defiance, stepping past Chris and openly calling out to John in full view of everyone. Here we go. Chris speaks and puts his hand on Higgins' back to guide him out for the second time. Now, Higgins will react defiantly, ignore Chris, step past him and attempt to get John's attention vocally and by waving and pointing. Higgins defies Chris's instruction to get going. Chris is not happy with this. His stare is ice cold and locked on Higgins. Higgins sidesteps Chris and is animated. Then Chris turns to look at John to see what his reaction is. But John, still dealing with paying his tab, has seen nothing. Not yet.
And you didn't say goodbye to John, right?
I don't think I said goodbye to anybody.
And you didn't talk to him about coming over to 34th Fairview.
No.
Neither Brian Higgins, Chris Albert, or Brian Albert ever acknowledged what we are seeing with our own eyes. Now, picking up exactly where we left off, there's a few things that happen worth pointing out. First, we'll focus on Higgins. Let's watch it at normal speed, then take it frame by frame. And we'll sync it with a close-up of John to gauge his reaction. Now is a crucial moment to remind you, it's 11:58 p.m. In about 30 minutes, John will be fatally injured. Cue the tape. In 3, 2, 1. Let's watch it again, slow it down, and look a wee bit closer. Higgins is desperately trying to get John's attention, but John still has his back turned. By the time John turns to look, Higgins has shifted his gaze to Brian Albert, likely pointing at Brian while telling John to go to his home at 34 Fairview Road. Then, as Higgins turns back toward John, he sees that John has already looked away, prompting Higgins to abort the next hand gesture he was just about to make. Higgins looks and sees members of the band carrying equipment out, then steps back to give them space to pass. Then, he finally makes direct eye contact with John. He points outside, telling John to come to Brian Albert's home. His posture rigid, and each motion he makes is laced with tension. John says something back to him, then glances over to Matt, who seems to have also witnessed the interaction. Consider how determined Higgins was to deliver the message to John. He endured a tense confrontation with Chris Albert, made multiple unsuccessful attempts to catch John's attention, and deliberately lingered behind the rest of his group, refusing to leave until he was absolutely certain the message had been received. Karen and Karina were so deeply engaged in conversation that they remained completely unaware of everything that had just unfolded around them. John is smiling. Whatever message Higgins was trying to send, it clearly didn't land with the weight he intended. John appears relaxed and confident, an important detail, as this reflects his mindset just before he would enter 34 Fairview Road. John leans over to Matt, who is just out of view, likely making another comment about the outburst. Then appears to say something about it to Chris Albert and Jen McCabe, before he is interrupted by the bartender to sign the check. In exactly 22 minutes sent from the crime scene, Higgins texts John a message that, viewed in context, takes on a sinister tone.
Look at those 3 question marks. Man, there's so much investigating that they're never going to do. And we're never going to know what happened. But one of those 3 dudes in that conversation.
That text, combined with the footage we've just reviewed, should have made Brian Higgins the primary suspect of John's murder. We've established that Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Chris Albert seem to have prior knowledge of a confrontation with John. But for that to be true, we would expect to see some evidence of it earlier in the night. Now, we will rewind the tape 9 minutes to find just that. It's getting late and the bar will be closing soon. John is standing here with Karen, who has her back facing us. They are speaking to Jen McCabe. Brian Albert and Brian Higgins are standing here and appear relaxed. Roll the film, please. Chris Albert approaches Brian and Higgins. Everything seems normal at first. They smirk. The 3 men's body language changes. They speak closely and glance towards John and Karen. Chris looks directly at them. Then he pivots back, engaging in conversation with more discretion than before.
Nice. What's up, Rights On? What's happening? It's nice to have another
Welcome, Rights On.
Another male figure. Welcome to the lair. Y'all need to make sure you get subbed to him too if you're not. Does some pretty good shorts and videos. Lolin, how long has it been? Well, I didn't stream all week and shit. It's been a while for you, huh?
Yeah. I woke up to 3 notifications this weekend. Like y'all went Friday, Saturday, and then y'all were about to come on tonight.
That's what we did. Had to catch up.
I'll catch up. I will. You know I will.
And we started another trial, and I was going to do that today to keep
Which
going
trial?
on it, but I got to wait on you. The wife
I'm sorry.
dismemberment trial. Nicholas Casotis,
What state is that in?
Georgia.
Ooh.
He's
All right, I'll get caught up
very
before you
good.
go live again.
Well, I can tell you now, his ass guilty. That's my vote. I'm
You
voting
think?
early. Yeah, he went the morning of the unaliving, bought a knife, big ass fucking knife. Then he linked his phone up with his car and drove everywhere that there were boxes of
All
body
the
parts.
hardware stores.
It's just ridiculous. And we haven't seen his internet history yet, but I'm willing to bet he asked a few questions about, where's the best place to drive.
Did they have kids that he could have borrowed their iPads to do the searches on?
No, he Googled where's the best place to dump a body near me. Like he's looking for a restaurant or something.
I've done that before. I'm just kidding.
Lex is like, man, I was gonna do it. It'd be here. It's good though. I think you'll like it. We watched the opening statements and
Like I said, I didn't even get to watch Turtleboy last night, and I knew he was going to be talking about the Morrissey emails. That's how focused I was on everything else going on.
well, the trial channel's got it all broken down, so it goes like really fast.
Awesome. Well, how far are they into the trial?
There'll be day 5 tomorrow. We can catch up. It's only 22 little videos, and we're on the first. I don't even know what he is because we watched it in slow motion. I laughed fucking hard. I can remember.
God, there was something y'all put on slow motion the other day. It had me cracking up. Something on replay.
No
Every
telling.
time you do that, it makes me laugh. I think it was Trooper Paul. I think y'all did Trooper Paul again, and I was in the shower just crying, laughing.
I'm trying not to do it. I'm trying to quit.
It's funny.
It is.
Chris leans in to listen to Brian. Chris gestures towards them with his hand. They become more excited. Brian whispers into Chris's ear.
Hello.
What's going on?
Sweet woman.
Hi, sweet woman.
Say was I
How's
the
it
only one who
going?
hadn't seen her message yet.
No,
No.
I just looked at my phone.
Smart sending that because I was zoned out on this Microdose.
I was like, I'm still backstage. What's going on?
I usually turn
Oh,
my camera
Jesus.
on and just wave at him like erratically until I get his attention.
Yeah, but it's stacked the camera, and if I don't scroll down, I can't see who's in the second stack.
It's all
So
good.
that's all right.
Were you
hear
guys
me?
talking about Brian Walsh's Google searches?
No, we're talking about Nicholas Cassidas, the wife dismemberment trial.
Are you talking about what was allowed into trial and what's not going to be allowed, or what?
No, I just heard Danny say something about a Google search of, some kind of sort of similar to Brian Walsh's Google searches.
They always do. They always
His
do.
were way more in detail, but the whole near me thing is funny because
Yeah.
like Google prompted you on that.
You're gonna watch it, like it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, why is he fighting this?" Like he can't.
What's his defense?
I mean, it's crazy. You'll see. It's good though. So we got something new to watch. I just got so much Turtleboy stuff loaded in here from yesterday. I can't Need about a 17-hour stream so I can get all this Turtleboy stuff watched.
All right, let's do it. And I'm home for the night.
Hell yeah.
Start work in the morning. Let's do it.
Yeah, nice. Now we can get the show starts.
There's no way to know exactly what these three men were discussing. However, their body language is consistent with precisely the kind of interaction one might expect to precede Brian Higgins' taunting just 9 minutes later. It's 11:30. The man at the center of your screen is one Brian Higgins. The surveillance camera detects the infrared light emitted by his iPhone's true depth camera, which is used for Face ID. This is Officer John O'Keefe. He would be nearly dead in about 1 hour, sustaining fatal injuries that the most credentialed experts determined were not from a vehicle. Across the table is Karen Reed. She is the girlfriend of John O'Keefe, and also the woman that Brian Higgins has been obsessed with for weeks up until this point. However, she had cut off communication with him roughly a week earlier and has completely ignored his presence since arriving at the bar.
Say hello, shake your hand, give you a hug.
No, she did not.
No, she didn't do any of those things, did she?
No.
It's like you didn't even exist.
Both Brian Higgins and Brian Albert have been drinking all day long.
Got him.
We'll get closer and watch as Higgins repeatedly steals glances at Karen. She is standing here. In 1 minute and 35 seconds, he will finally break down and text her. Leading up to that moment, we'll see him look in her direction at least 3 times. 1. 2. 3. At 11:32, the weight of Karen's indifference becomes unbearable. He gives in to temptation. In a whiskey-fueled haze, he removes his phone from the front pocket of his sweatshirt, composing a juvenile message designed to nudge her into interacting with him. It doesn't matter that John O'Keefe is standing right there, a few feet away from him. Higgins is determined to get attention from Karen, whatever the consequences may be. From this point forward, Higgins can be seen frequently checking his phone, presumably awaiting Karen's response. But that response would never come, surely adding to his humiliation and anger. At 10:54, Karen and John enter the bar. On the surface, everything appears normal, but
I am right there. Walked straight up to him and gave him a hug.
That's always been suspicious to me. You didn't know him well, but the first person you go to is him. It's saying, I know what you're up to.
Like, oh, look who's here, huh?
Yeah.
But they had that video.
Say it again. You broke up.
Remember when he was playing video games at John's house?
Right.
Yeah.
And
So like
somebody broke the remote.
yeah, so maybe that was like their like little love connection.
Yeah, Karen
No.
sent Hickey a text that said John knows about the kiss, doesn't she?
Right?
That's
Yeah, I
way
think she
too
did.
suspicious to me. He knows almost everyone there better than Brian, but yet he goes up to Brian and hugs him like that. That's bro code. Like, I know what you're up to.
He fucking went straight up and fucking mocked
Yep.
it. Son. Went right up to him, probably whispered something.
I don't doubt that either.
Like, I know it was you, bitch.
I've
Right.
seen your text messages or yeah.
Probably wasn't that long, but it was like, fuck you, bitch, or something like that.
Totally.
Straight up to him and hugged him right off. It's no doubt
Chris
about
Glover says that was checking to see if he was armed, is what LV Cop said. I mean, I don't
Oh, that would make sense.
smart too. But it was also to say, I'm not scared of y'all.
To the bar.
Beat your ass.
True.
On the surface,
I'll beat
everything
your ass.
appears normal,
I'll
but there are already subtle signs foreshadowing the darkness this night is destined to bring.
never talk to him again.
Brian Albert leans closely into Higgins to make a comment, seemingly about Karen, since
That's
she's standing
probably
right
even
there
more important
and just
that
walked
he
in.
doesn't talk to him again, other than that first initial elaborate confrontation.
Very, very public.
Then Higgins
Definitely.
glances at John. He comments to Brian. And Brian leans back in to say something in return. Higgins shakes his head and laughs. Higgins points to Brian, requesting to step away for a private word. Higgins signals, over here. Not even Brian's wife, Nicole, should hear this. Higgins leans in very closely to Brian's ear. What subject matter requires this level of secrecy? The discussion continues. They seem very excited and animated. Higgins looks at Karen. Repeatedly.
It's like,
He
hey, look
can't
how
seem to
funny I
stop
am.
himself from watching her. Meanwhile, John
Everybody
appears to be
likes me, Karen.
oblivious to whatever is developing around him. The two men touch hands in agreement. Higgins taps Brian's arm, requesting he step away once again to discuss something sensitive. And back to the corner they go. Higgins asks questions. And Brian gives answers.
You look like a skeleton there.
Yeah, shit. But just because, sometimes you have a well-laid plans, and then you do something and it fucks your plans up.
Yep.
That's what we done down here. We're about to watch this.
To everyone going to 34 Fairview, Brian Albert. Let's talk for a second about what actually happened in the time leading up to everyone going to 34 Fairview. Brian Albert, Brian Higgins show up drunk at the Waterfall. They'd been drinking in the afternoon. You know about the flirtatious texts that were sent between Karen Reed and Brian. Higgins was clearly pining over Karen, but for her, the flirtation had ran its course. It was done. She was happy and committed to John. You could see that in her actions with John that night. You don't have to guess.
Brian Higgins sees Karen Reed enter the bar.
I didn't know she or John O'Keefe would even be there.
His attention is quickly turned to John O'Keefe approaching. John greets him with a warm embrace, then does the same with Brian Albert. Brian Albert and John show affection by patting each other's backs. Brian Higgins leans in, asking John where they're coming from. John points, indicating they were across the street at C.F. McCarthy's. John sees Karina Kolokithis, prompting him to walk over and say hello with a hug. He also says hello to Nick Kolokithis, and then John walks further towards the bar to greet Matt McCabe. Brian Albert whispers something into Higgins' ear. Higgins smiles back, amused, then glances at John, indicating he is the subject of their conversation. Higgins comments back to Brian Albert, and Brian Albert responds with another whisper. Higgins smiles again at whatever Brian Albert said, And then Nicole Albert returns from the restroom, approaches husband Brian and embraces him from behind, prompting the three to converse quietly to each other. Nicole and Brian Albert speak closely for a time, as Higgins watches. Higgins stands to step away to a more isolated location and signals Brian Albert to follow. He wants to say something that even Nicole shouldn't hear. This may be where the idea to confront John is born. We jump ahead 3 minutes later, and Higgins, Brian Albert, and wife Nicole are still positioned on one side of the table away from the rest of the group, almost as if they were spectators sitting in the front row watching a play. Brian Higgins takes a photo. His flash goes off in 3, 2, 1. He appears to have pointed the camera through the gap between Brian and Nicole Albert's backs, across the table, and taken a photo in the direction Karen Reed was standing. We know this because we then see her return, walking from that area back to John's side. John puts his arm around her and she speaks to Karina and Nick Kolokithis. We continue to see a series of flashes happening on the far side of the table, indicating photos are being taken by the group. Higgins appears to be posing for one between Brian and Nicole. None entered into evidence. Caitlin Albert sits here. Chris Albert stands here, at the left end of the high top. The clock strikes 11 p.m. And 32 minutes later, Higgins, feeling completely ignored, sends a text message to Karen.
When you texted her, well, at Waterfall, she ignored that text too, correct?
Well, that was the only text I sent that night to her, yes.
Okay.
She didn't respond.
That wasn't my question.
What
My question is, she ignored the text, correct?
Well, I don't know if I don't know what her mindset was. If she purposely ignored the text? Or she didn't see it? I don't know. I didn't read into it.
Did she ignore the text, Mr. Higgins?
I don't know.
Did she respond to the text?
She did not respond.
Got it.
We jump ahead 15 minutes. Higgins checks his phone, growing frustrated that Karen has not responded to his desperate message. John glances at his phone as well to check the time. It's getting late and almost closing. Karen and Jen McCabe converse, appearing friendly and in good spirits. They laugh together. Karen initiates a group hug, putting her right arm around Matt McCabe and her left arm around Jen McCabe. John, however, seems to take a step back. The Bryans are heavily intoxicated and feeling aggressive. They have identified their adversary in John O'Keefe and are acting out their primal rage with a male display of dominance, otherwise known as peacocking. Jen McCabe picks up on it, but unfortunately for Higgins, Karen has her back turned. He has absolutely no idea how to get the attention from her he so desperately desires. In fact, when he realizes that he's not in her field of view, he seems to end the display. For now.
She actually positioned herself away from you at the other end of the table on the opposite side in the corner. Isn't that right?
Jen and Matt McCabe hold Karen in prolonged embrace. However, what's strange is they never once mentioned to her that there's an after party at Brian's house. For Karen, at least, there's a surprise in store. Meanwhile, John has taken notice of the Bryans. Higgins, humiliated, needs validation from Brian that he's powerful. He has worth. Higgins and Brian continue their private conversation, able to speak more freely since no one is close. If not planning, they were likely exchanging toxic ideas, building animosity towards John, who doesn't seem to be fully in on the joke quite yet. Higgins is feeling insecure and less than. Jen McCabe continues to speak to John and Karen, with Matt standing out of view to the far right. Karen would be forgiven for believing these people are her friends. At first, I considered this may be when Jen McCabe invited John and Karen to 34 Fairview for the after party, but then I recalled this.
I said, can we make sure we're welcome here? Nobody extended the invite to me. I didn't hear the invite extended to you.
So when, exactly, was John invited? And for what purpose was he to be there? Here comes Chris Albert entering the vicinity of Brian and Higgins. Karen chats with Brian and Chris Albert, but her eyes never find Higgins. Imagine the storm of emotions he must be weathering, standing just inches away from the woman who has consumed his thoughts for weeks. She's right there, so close, yet he is helplessly bound by his own fear, unable to utter a single word. There's nothing more excruciating than being invisible to the one you desire most. Karina has her jacket on. She says goodbye and hugs John for the last time. She then tells her husband Nick that she just needs to say goodbye to Karen before they leave. Higgins is frozen like a deer, hoping not to be noticed, his body oriented towards Brian Albert's back, staring blankly into the side of his head. An inferno of anger, frustration, and embarrassment swirls inside of him, growing exponentially with every passing second. She didn't reply to the text message I sent over an hour ago.
Mary B. This microdots in this damn headset literally make you forget where the fuck you're at.
Yes, I agree.
I feel like I might have been in the back of the bar right there. You've been there, so you probably already slipped off in there.
Yeah, that's pretty much the view I would get too. Well, I was a little bit farther back, but that's pretty much where I was sitting.
And Richie is good. I haven't
woman
listened
in
to his
Mary B.
headsets, but yeah.
Name of food right here. Yeah, two of the people on this panel had a meal of food right here underneath this camera.
Me.
Sure did. I got them steak and cheese egg rolls.
Right?
So
they didn't
good.
squirt on your outfit.
No, but I mean, it definitely could have. They were very juicy.
Stomp. It's up in there. I can hear every step crack. It's crazy.
Yep.
Just want to put it back on the little speaker on the computer so I can concentrate on what I'm doing.
She hasn't said hello to me. She hasn't even acknowledged my existence. How could she do this to me? I told her I wanted the real deal. Isn't that what women want?
I don't know where she was all night, no. I don't know.
Did that upset you that she ignored you or didn't pay attention to you?
I did not feel ignored and didn't upset me at all.
But it bothered you enough to send her a text, didn't it? What the hell, Karen? What about me?
Karen and Karina are saying goodnight. The Bryans continue their performance of alpha dominance, less a calculated strategy and more a mirror of their restless and intoxicated psychological states. Brian likes to fight when he's drinking, and Higgins has been outmatched. Humiliated by a taller, better-looking, much more charming man who doesn't even seem completely aware yet of the dynamics in play. A haunting moment occurs when John and Higgins lock eyes in 3, 2, 1. John must sense now that something is off. Is it just that Higgins has had one drink too many? Or is John beginning to piece it together, understanding what this is really about?
And then there's that sparring and fighting that he and Brian Albert were engaged in. Of all the things they could be doing, this is what they were doing just minutes before John O'Keefe walked into that house at 34 Fairview.
The bar is closing in 5 minutes. It's last call and John offers to buy them a final drink. They decline. Notice here how kind and reserved John appears, smiling and being respectful, while the Bryans are sloppy and have clearly lost control of their faculties. John watches as Brian and Higgins can't seem to keep their hands off each other. Remember, this was their state as they waited for John to walk into 34 Fairview just moments later. They felt invincible, but in reality were barely able to stand. It's easy to see how John might have overpowered them, perhaps pushing them to take drastic measures, or causing a third person to jump in and help. After all, no one can be allowed to beat up an Albert in his own home. That simply cannot happen, especially by a lower-ranking fellow Boston cop like John. Chris Albert hugs Caitlin since he's not going to the after-party with everyone else, and the rest of the Alberts head towards the door, including Higgins. Chris Albert forcibly grabs Higgins by the arm, telling him to stop with the taunting. Higgins looks at Brian for the okay. Chris and Higgins look to Brian. It's fine. Brian allows Higgins to continue. Chris raises his arms and gestures that it's too out in the open, with people watching. But whatever Brian says goes, and Higgins continues. Now, Higgins makes 3 attempts to get John's attention. The first 2 times, John wasn't looking.
Didn't it look like John just took a picture of himself, a selfie? Did you see that?
No, we have to put it back.
I see it every time. Watch when he turns around from the bar. He's up here.
Makes 3 attempts to get John's attention.
Watch his face.
The first 2 times, John wasn't looking.
See it?
The third time,
I
Higgins
don't think
waved.
that was a selfie. I think he just checked his phone, but I'm only looking
Yeah,
at it on
that's-
my phone.
That was fast.
That's when the face recognition thing comes on, it flashes and like
I see it under the ultraviolet light.
yeah.
First 2 times, John wasn't looking.
Hey, at least I'm not blind.
The third time, Higgins waves his arms and yells. John gets the message and appears to acknowledge it. I believe Higgins was yelling, "We need to have a talk. Go to Fairview."
And you didn't say goodbye to John, correct?
I don't think I said goodbye to anybody.
And you didn't talk to him about coming over to 34 Fairview.
No.
Brian Higgins, however, you can see in his actions, he wasn't quite so satisfied and he wasn't done.
How would you describe sort of the general sort of tone or demeanor within the group at the Waterfall that night?
It was fine. Everyone's just having a good time.
No arguments, anything like that?
No, not at all.
Chris Albert knows exactly what was said between Brian Albert, Higgins, and John. And interestingly enough, he decided to walk home instead of attending the after-party with everyone else. Karen is still chatting with Karina and doesn't notice any of what had just transpired. We jump ahead to 12:10, and it's time for everyone to leave the establishment. From what we can see, John has been standing alone, conversing with no one, since the outbursts from Higgins 12 minutes ago. What was on his mind? What was he thinking about?
That's when Jennifer McCabe went up to Karen and said, "You're coming with me." Like, and she like grabbed her, like she put her arm around her and she said in front of me, "Hey, you come with me. We're gonna, and then Karen said, "Where are we going?" And Jen said, "It doesn't matter. It'll be a surprise."
Was it a surprise or a secret? Jen McCabe, Karina, and Karen Reed exit first. Chris knows Higgins and Brian stormed out. So what is he still doing here? Is he discussing it with John, coaxing him to go there and talk to them? Chris Albert heads to the men's room, using it before the walk home. John stands alone, with just Matt and Nick left chatting in the corner. he decides it's time to go and walks out of the Waterfall bar for the last time. Whatever John thought was up with the Bryans, he kept to himself.
You texted John O'Keefe, you coming here.
I did.
And that had 3 question marks behind it, correct?
Yes.
A few minutes after receiving that text, John was severely beaten and would be dead in a matter of hours. There's certainly motive for Higgins to want to harm John. But what about Brian Albert? Why would he harbor negative feelings towards him? John and Brian Albert were both Boston police officers at the time, and Albert allegedly has a history of violence against other officers, perhaps because he was high-ranking and knew he had power over them. There were never consequences, not for Brian. If he had an issue with John, he may have wanted to address it, cop to cop, and put John back in line. But what issue could he have had with John? Asking that question, I remembered something that was said during the trial. John wanted to know if one specific person would be at the Waterfall before he agreed to come. And now, I'm asking myself why. I leave you with this.
What, if any, communication do you recall in regard to who was there or who was going to be there?
With Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think at some point he said, who's there? And I said, my brother Brian. I said, Brian. And he said, your brother Brian? I said, yeah, Brian and Brian Higgins are there. And he said, where's your brother Kevin? And I said, I have no clue.
Was there tension in John's relationship with Kevin that could have upset the Alberts, requiring an intervention from Brian?
Crazy. Crazy good.
So what's everyone's thoughts about Jen coming up to Karen and say you're going with me and it's a surprise?
You're coming with me. That's what she said. You're coming with me.
I'm trying to think of something. I can't. I have no idea.
Do you think that they were going to try to get John with the guys and like jump him in the parking lot or somewhere else? Or
I don't think it was that thought out.
Yeah, like I firmly believe that this wasn't like planned and that it just like went bad. I know that that's like, you know, everyone has their differing ideas of kind of how it went down. And
even confronting him doesn't mean it's going to go bad. I mean,
right. Right. But I don't know why Jen would even be involved, you know, like, were they planning to like jump him and they bring Jen in? They're like, hey, Jen, you want to join us? You know, like, you know, it just doesn't seem like something
we've
they would
heard
involve her in.
JFK say it was about Coke. I don't believe that. I believe it was more like to get the boys alone somewhere else. And I don't think they planned on it to be at Fairview when they confronted him, not jump him, but confront him.
Alcohol and women. That's what it's
Well,
about.
I do personally believe that Coke was involved. There were a couple of things that tipped me off to that. First being like having an after party in your 40s. Like there's only one reason you're going to continue.
And closing down the bar in your 40s.
Exactly.
But now you got to worry about, is everybody at the party going to die from fentanyl poison?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, thank you.
And then like the, you know, back and forth to the bathroom.
In her system, and John didn't have any Coke in his system.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they were just testing them out to see if they were cool with it, and they like don't do that. You know, they're like, I'm good. You can go ahead.
So somebody wanted to watch this Ratchet Madness.
Oh yeah.
It's only 2 minutes.
Oh, this is from 2022.
Yeah. Let's see what they were doing.
I can't wait for this.
Somebody was talking about one last night. I couldn't remember which one it was. So.
Turtleboy posted like 30 minutes ago about Ratchet Madness, but I can never tell if it's a short or an actual video he's about to do when I'm on my phone.
I think it's getting ready to do the whole, you know, those shows are like an hour and a half or whatever. And he actually does it. This is just a little winner reveal.
The ball is and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star, and all the.
Yeah, I don't want to play any more of that.
Oh, damn, the music.
Yeah, because he plays it all the way through the end.
Yeah, we're already gonna get in trouble for that. 2 of those.
Hey, did you see the videos I sent you
Yeah, I did. I got them right here.
from a year ago? My first ever boots on the ground experience.
Yep. Got it.
I hope you can hear this.
About one thing, there is no justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed. We are here today because we support John O'Keefe, because we want the people who murdered John O'Keefe and who covered up the murder. Yes. Responsible, and none of those people is named Karen Reed. Put on Aidan. I'm sorry. At the end of it. And they are in here pretending that they care about John O'Keefe after what they did to him. It's disgusting. Justice for John. 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 Right? It's 3 of us.
See the blue shirts? That's the only time they ever showed up. See that I love that video because it's you can kind of see, I mean, if I had a better vantage point, like if I was over where Turtleboy was, you could see there was like the stairs of the courthouse, and on one side with the blue shirts and the other side were us. And that's the only time they were ever there in like large numbers. And that's what they kept on doing. They were chanting over Aidan so that, you know, they were trying to.
But then he started chanting justice for JJ too, right?
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah,
they
to drown
said,
him out.
that's what they told us to do.
Yeah,
Because that's what we want.
exactly.
But that's when they had the motion trying to, you know, get rid of counts 1 and 3. It didn't work. And actually, that was the day that I saw Mazza and Plevin arguing. It was, I mean, yeah, they were having like, no, I didn't, because I didn't know who anyone was. And I might have something, I'll have to look, but yeah, so they were having, it was a good like debate, but the police came and broke it up because Plevin got a little out of hand and his shirt, like his
What were they
nipples were
talking about?
beaming.
That he did.
God, you know, whether or not she's guilty, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And he usually only wants to talk about tech data as his strong arguments.
But this was, well, maybe he did, but probably the, what do you call it, key cycles, because this was after trial 1, a month after.
right here we can watch. Robin G sent me something. I forgot about that. Let me look at this real quick. It was from the Shabusiness. Tells all an unfiltered jail call.
Yeah, I watched all of the Taylor Business trial, and she recently attacked a second attorney.
Well, they got her on some kind of jail call. Don't want to listen.
Yeah, I mean, she's been found guilty and everything, but she recently attacked another attorney.
It's crazy. But she's got an unfiltered jail call. We might just skip to the jail call. Hold on a second.
Come on. Come on home.
Because it's law and crime.
I had my niece with me, and she was watching a whole lot of series on Dom.
He was trying to link my client with Jeffrey Dahmer by offering these exhibits.
Shabusiness explained all of this to Law and Crime.
I had my niece with me, and she was watching a whole lot of series on Dahmer. A whole lot of series on Dahmer, and then everybody thought I was dating Dahmer, so people were laughing at my saying I was dating Dahmer. I took a picture with his, and then I was trying to put it on a blow-up doll, a customized blow-up doll.
Mm-hmm. Is that her real name?
Send it off to one of
I think it is.
Shabuzi? What?
The business.
None of your business.
Their last name. Yeah, don't ask again. Yeah, I wonder if she went down and changed that and just misspelled it really bad from whatever she was thinking. Could be.
That can't be real.
Oh, the whole thing is the interview. Ooh, 20
I
minutes.
sent you both attacks on the attorney.
Oh, did you? Nice. All right, well, let's check this out. Oh, God.
SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking.
The murderer herself, speaking out exclusively to Law and Crime. What led up to the gruesome killing she's now serving time for? How her fascination with serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer first began, and the details of the horrifying crime.
I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Sierra Gillespie, and the case we're talking about today, the one at Taylor Shabusiness, is one we've covered at length here on Law and Crime. Our viewers were so intrigued, and honestly, I kind of understand why. The details are so shocking, so unexpected, and honestly unbelievable, but they're all true. You might know Taylor Shabusiness as the woman who attacked her attorney in open court.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
This actually happened more than once.
He got her ass that time, didn't he?
Oh, that's her.
She felt like she was 100 pounds then when that dude checked her. He didn't even move. He's like, oh, well. He was expecting it.
You might also know Taylor as the woman who pointed finger guns at the judge during her trial and also flipped off the same judge during the same trial. You might also know her as the woman who was eventually forced to wear a spit guard for everyone's safety at the same trial. But perhaps what Taylor Shabusiness is most known for is murdering her lover during sex, decapitating his body, and then leaving dismembered body parts across the city of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I feel like we all know a guy that looks like that.
But they weren't even like together. They were friends, and they got high on meth and decided to have sex. And then she decided to kill him and cut his head off, drain his blood, cut off his body, and like she performed sex acts on him after he was dead. Like she was just extremely high on meth.
Like we said the other night.
Doesn't everybody do that?
Thunder on him.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, she went Tropic Thunder.
There was one body part found in a crock pot box in the van that she was driving when the police got her. I mean, it was insane. His head was in a bucket with a towel over it.
Oh my God.
And his parents found it.
and then leaving dismembered body parts across the city of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And what may be the most disturbing of all, beyond the fact that Shabusiness sexually assaulted the victim after his head was cut off, is that his own mother found the victim's head in a bucket beside his severed penis and a Jolly Rancher.
Very positive my son's head is in a bucket.
That's how she put it. I found my son's head in a bucket. So I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah, I really should have.
I
Listen.
can't believe you didn't hear about this trial. It was insane.
No,
And then they call her dad in as like a what do you call it when it's like a personal witness of character, like a character witness, and they brought him in a jail suit and chains because he was in jail already. It's her personal character witness.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Some big words in there. Big words. But we're grown.
Didn't believe her.
Here's what happened. On February 23rd, 2022, dispatch in Green Bay, Wisconsin gets a disturbing and unexpected 911 call.
I have no clue what's happening. My girl swears that she's found her severed head of her son in the basement.
Did you go down there?
A bucket. I went down. I can't tell what the I started my legs. I'm kind of freaked out.
It was a shocking and disturbing allegation that the dismembered head of Shad Thyrion was in a 10-gallon bucket.
Her had woken me up and said she thinks she found Chad, her son's. That's how she put it. I found my son's head in a bucket. So I'm dumbfounded. Didn't believe her. Thought she was having a mental issue or something.
That's Steve Hendricks. He was dating Shad's mom at the time of his murder. He's the one who called police after finding this.
I go downstairs and see what the hell she's talking about, and I can't see anything. So we go back upstairs and contemplate what the heck to do.
So I guess what do you do specifically when you go downstairs?
I went to the basement and observed the bucket that she said, but I don't know.
Sweet woman, when you read that, that's a crazy message you just sent.
Is I did this is my nervous laugh. Yeah, that's like I just wanted to put that behind the scenes. Like, yeah, it's. I'll send you guys some stuff on it.
Yeah, I don't know if you don't want to, but darn, I had to stop. I got jolted.
My mind blocked it out about it. It was like hair like an animal. I didn't know what the heck.
And I want you to keep in mind, Green Bay, Wisconsin is a small town. Technically a city, but I call it a town. Almost everyone knows everyone. It has the small town feel. And yes, murders, crimes do happen from time to time, but nothing ever like this. So when police arrive to this home, they're skeptical at first until they get a closer look at the crime scene.
At the bottom of the stairs to the right, there was a green bucket with a shower towel on top of it, just to verify we had an actual head in a bucket. Lifted the towel off, and there was, in fact, a human severed head in the bucket.
The head belonged to 24-year-old Shad Thyrion, who was last seen with his one-time girlfriend, Taylor Shabusiness.
Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department.
That's video of Taylor Shabusiness's arrest on the other side of Green Bay, not long after Shad's remains were recovered. And here's where we have to insert some new information from Shabusiness herself. For a few months now, Law and Crime has been working to get a sit-down interview with Taylor Shabusiness. Now, the prison in Wisconsin has denied this request, so we don't have video of the interview, but we do have audio because Shabusiness gave us the okay to record our phone conversations with her. So here's the first question. At the time of her arrest, was she thinking of going on the run?
I mean, that's definitely what I should have done, you know. That's definitely something that, like, any right-minded person would have done. Mm-hmm. That's definitely something that you could have done, but what I did, I stayed in town. I stayed in town, and I was chopping it over my roommates.
Shabusiness was pretty straightforward in our conversations, and she was the same way after her arrest, too. She admitted to all of the gory details in her police interviews. Take a listen.
You two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
It was getting there, okay. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah, it was. And then, I don't know. And then, I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
You guys done something like this in the past?
Not like that.
Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all?
No.
Is Shad like that?
A manual strangulation? Yes.
Do you like strangulation?
I don't know.
You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
he does. Yeah.
Where's the body?
Body there. Yeah. It's,
So we're gonna take the head somewhere?
I like that.
You like it?
Well, you're gonna have fun from those girls working, so yeah, they're all dismembered. Yeah.
So you dismembered the body too?
Yeah.
And what did you do with the body?
Oh, they're in the house.
Somewhere?
They're like, yeah.
Basement, upstairs, downstairs?
In the basement. I was gonna bring them. And then, I know I forgot the head. I wanted the head.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, it's in the van.
What?
It's in the van. It's, What is it? A foot maybe.
The what?
I think it's a foot.
A foot,
leg,
everything?
a leg maybe. I'm gonna bring it all in. I'm like, man, this is messy. So I got lazy.
Okay.
I got lazy, and that's what I did. So I'm like,
How did you dismember his body?
nice.
Was like
Nice.
knives? More than one knife? Where did you get those from?
Kitchen. Just not find mine. I wasn't sharp enough.
You weren't sure?
No. It was alright. Bread knife works good.
Bread knife?
A bread knife works good.
Really?
I had to use what I used. So like, yeah. I got lazy last night, so
Where would these knives be now?
they're in with all the organs and all the body parts.
And where was that?
And the black bag. It's in the black bag of
The basement?
it's in the basement. They're all in the basement.
Here's what Shabusiness told police at the time. She was having sex with Shad. Then she started to strangle him with a chain. She said even when his face turned purple, she just kept going. After that, she dismembered his body with knives that were taken from his mom's kitchen. After that, she hid the remains around the basement and in a minivan she had been borrowing from one of her friends. Now, those clips that we just played for you were from her police interview in 2022, not long after the murder. But here's what she told Law and Crime just this month. And note, she pre-wrote this description of what happened and she read it out almost like it was a poem or something. Take a listen.
I was on the run in Texas after having my baby taken. I decided to make things right and clear it up north. When I got back, they put my on the bracelet. I went to buy a bag on the low, so I went to my ex who was a Satan disciple, and family, we all Latin kings. So we beefing. We don't with SDs. I gave him $100 for the bag, and the bag was $50. He pocketed the cash. Me and him and another homie all soaked up, and then my homie left, and I went to drop off my ex, and he wanted before I left. So I went into the basement, and he went and pulled out 2 chains. I asked him, where my money at, fool? And he said, I ain't got it. So I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth. So I laid down on the bed and to listen to his heartbeat, and I said, damn, this motherfucker's still beating. I went upstairs to grab a kitchen knife. I went back downstairs, took off his pants. I sucked his cut his head off at the same time because the only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking. Then I chopped his off and to conceal the crime. I used a nearby shower drain to pour out the blood and put it in bags and boxes around the basement to store the body parts in, and plastic bags for the organs. I was covering up his body, and while the people were entering the basement, I would continue to cut him up, and then and I would cover him up, and then when they would leave, I would cut him back up. And then I headed out to the truck, and I started loading up the body parts in there. And then I went back to the apartment I was staying at after chopping it up with my roommate. I went to go get rid of the body, and then there was cops around the place with their guns out telling us to get down, get on the floor, and that's why I'm in custody today.
Shabusiness also gave us some more information about what led up to the murder.
Well, what went down was I had bought a bag of dope. I bought it for $50, but I gave him $100, and he didn't give me my $50 back. And what went down between the whole thing, he was a SD, and then I was a Latin king, and then I wasn't supposed to be doing my with my ex, but that's what went down. And SDs and Latin kings, they ain't good.
Shabusiness mentions in that recording, and according to her poem that she read out, that Shad Thyrion allegedly had stolen from her, and that's why she says she, quote, took him out.
I wasn't supposed to be doing business with my ex, but I did, and then what he did, he pocketed the money that I was supposed to have, so I went out and took his out for that. As soon as that went down, I started chopping up the body, because I did one thing for sure. I did have I had a lot of motherfuckers out there.
Taylor Shabusiness was eventually charged with first-degree intentional homicide. She was also charged with third-degree sexual assault for assaulting the body after Shad Thyrion was already dead. But on top of all of this, she was also charged for mutilating a corpse. So why desecrate the body in that way?
That I can conceal this crime. I chopped up his body, and then there was a lot of things going on at the time, but.
And right here is where the Jeffrey Dahmer comparison comes in. In all, Jeffrey Dahmer was convicted of 16 murders in the early 1990s. And I would say he's one of the more notorious serial killers there is out there for the grotesque aspects of the case. I mean, it's involving cannibalism and necrophilia on top of murder. So Dahmer,
Muted.
I know. Shoot.
I can't believe you didn't hear about this.
Yeah,
Did she say she performed fellatio after
she cut his head off? Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
my
And then she cut off his manhood. And that was in the bucket with his head, I believe, that his mother found with a Jolly Rancher.
Oh my! Wow.
But it's
Yeah.
like
She's
liver or kidneys or something were in the crock pot box in the van that she was
Oh my
borrowing.
God.
Like, it's insane.
Isn't that where everybody puts them?
Yep, that's what I put in my crock pot boxes.
Who has a crock pot box?
You're supposed to throw that away when you open it.
Yeah. Oh, she was so methed out in all of her interviews. It was insane.
God.
That's craziness.
kind of regret playing this.
Of course comes up when we're talking about Taylor Business, because first of all, they've got the Wisconsin connection. But second of all, he also came up in Taylor Business's search history. Here's a clip from her trial.
Were there several searches related to Jeffrey Dahmer and other items on the device that were consistent with Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, things such as flaming pentagram, Jeffrey Dahmer, things like that. KKK, I believe, is one of them.
And Detective, did you note the dates and times of the respective searches that you believe were relevant?
It was around the time of the homicide.
And there's a now infamous photo of Taylor Business smiling next to a photo of Jeffrey Dahmer.
A photograph of my client, Taylor Business, either laying on a bed or sitting. And then there's a phone next to her, and the phone has a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer on her phone. So they're together. We all know that Jeffrey Dahmer was the worst serial killer in Wisconsin history. There are a lot of negative memories and thoughts and commentary. People watch that trial on TV with Attorney Boyle and Attorney Wendy Patricus in Milwaukee County. The state is trying to link my client with Jeffrey Dahmer by offering these exhibits.
Business explained all of this to Law and Crime.
I had my niece with me, and she was watching a whole lot of series on Dahmer. A
Oh.
whole lot of series on Dahmer, and then everybody thought I was dating Dahmer, so people were laughing at my saying I was dating Dahmer. I took a picture with his, and then I was trying to put it on a blow-up doll, a customized blow-up doll.
Mm-hmm.
His face, and then send it off to one of my friends.
In the phone calls with us, Business says she admits to the crime. She admits to murdering Shad Irion and dismembering his body. But she says she's no female Jeffrey Dahmer. She's only killed one person.
Nah. I mean, there's motherfuckers out there that you really want to beef with hard. I mean, yeah, you want to murder motherfuckers, but I mean that's what other motherfuckers they be saying on my name that I've killed more than one. But I mean, I'm trying to work on this appeal, and get out.
Throughout the call, we asked Business about the crime, but also her personal background, what she wanted to be when she grew up, or what she daydreamed about. The other voice in this clip that you'll hear is our booking producer, Diane Kay.
I would like to be a teacher, or I'd like to be a whatever,
I'd like to be still slinging my pussy on the street, but over here it's all right.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense.
Law and Crime also asked Taylor Business about the attacks of her attorneys because, as we pointed out, there are multiple, and she gave us some background.
The most recent one, when my attorney, he was calling my and he was saying I need another competency hearing. He kept on calling my sticking his tongue out at me, and so I went off on his. But the one before that, he was doing the same thing too, saying about competency. He kept on saying you need more competency hearings. You need more competency hearings. They constantly keep on saying that, and I said no, I'm straight. My dad showed up in the back of the courtroom, and as soon as he popped through, that was my dad's previous attorney too, and then he had just fired his. He said get this guy off your case. So then, as soon as my dad popped up into that courtroom and he sat his down, I already knew it was go time, and that's when I had to go in. So then that's when I went in and I fired his.
Taylor Business went to trial in July of 2023. She pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, and she stands by that.
Definitely insane. I should have went back to Chicago. I should have went domiciled, but I didn't do that. I stayed up north. I stayed around in Green Bay. I went back to where my family was at and to continue going to work and then continue on from there. But instead, I just smoked up with my roommate and that was that.
To be clear, though, Taylor Business was found guilty and found to be sane at the time of the crime.
First verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Business, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The second verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Business, guilty of mutilating a corpse as charged in count 2 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The next verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Business, guilty of third-degree sexual assault as charged in count 3 of the information, dated this date, 26th day of July, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
So she was sentenced to life in prison, which, by the way, is the highest sentence anyone can receive in the state of Wisconsin. They abolished death penalty long ago. Now, Taylor Business has tried to appeal her conviction, but the court found there are no grounds for appeal. This actually happened recently. She wrote a handwritten note to the court, and here's what it reads in part, quote, I'm voluntarily dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post-conviction motion. So more could be ahead for her in terms of motions. We do know, though, that she's due back in court already in October for a second trial she now faces, this time for assaulting a staff member at the women's prison that she's currently housed in. We'll see what's ahead at Taylor Business's upcoming trial. Law and Crime does plan to be there, so we'll give you all of the updates as soon as that happens with the hearings and then the eventual 3-day trial that is scheduled. On top of that, our booking producer, Diane Kay, is the one who's been in contact with Taylor Business and recorded those phone calls. So we'll see if Taylor continues to reach out to Diane, and if so.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Y'all live? What's up?
Yeah, that's a wild case right there.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I live in this fantasy world where people like that don't exist. And it's always very disappointing to see that they do.
I also have one more Turtleboy thing to watch. It's only 9 minutes.
Okay.
It's on from when he was Blair was on Justice Served, and they were talking about Turtleboy. It's pretty good.
Nice.
The vibe I got from Canoni, the Karen Reed case in regards to Turtleboy, but he was just dismissive of him and the subject of him, not so much like trying to, she didn't seem on the bandwagon of everyone else that's trying to like shut him up and lock him up. You know what I mean? She seemed just kind of like, we're not even going to mention him because she didn't like the fact that he gets as much publicity as he does. And that's the interesting thing too, I can't wait to find out what's in. I mean, I had no idea that Proctor had texts that were discoverable for Turtleboy's case. I had no idea he had any connection to Turtleboy's case at all. So now my interest is piqued beyond any other point that I've been following this case. And I've been following Turtleboy's case since the beginning.
And we know Proctor's texting. So one can only imagine how inappropriate, how vulgar that it might be. Those sidebar, for those who have just heard it, what happened was there was a specific request for those saying, Michael Proctor's a has-been and never was a loser. He's a non-factor. Why are we protecting these texts? And everybody had them. They just are impounded. And so the court allowed them to come to sidebar. That was the first of the sidebars, and actually go over. I think there were 4, is what I heard. 4 texts from Proctor to Proctor involving Aidan Kearney. The hope was that at that sidebar, the court would be convinced, okay, we're going to take the impound off of those. That didn't happen. The judge is letting everything simmer for a couple of weeks. And of course, I asked about those on the courthouse steps. Nobody was going to cough up exactly what they are or what they mean. But those, among all the other stuff impounded, that stuff's got to be kicked loose soonest. Because who is being protected by the impoundment? A former disgraced trooper? That's ridiculous.
And I don't see. I see Canoni impounding those things and keeping the impoundment, but I don't see Doolin.
Yeah,
Doolin. I don't see him doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
So I mean, I'm dying to know what's on those texts. I'm dying to know.
Just count on inappropriate and poorly worded.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that if Proctor hates Karen Reed and hates David Yannetti, he hates Turtleboy. Guaranteed. Like despises Turtleboy. So I'm dying to know what Proctor's saying about Turtleboy.
Well, when we get those, can we have Will on to read those?
Will may want to read. They said something to the effect that, Michael, you were in the courtroom. Again, you could kind of like pick up the whispers, I guess. They said something to the effect that there's text also with another person who was also on a media tour defending her family, and there's no reason the text between the two of them shouldn't be released. So we kind of gathered who the texts are between, right?
I'm assuming it's Jen McCabe. I'm assuming, it's a McAlbert connection. We know that, but
or Elizabeth Proctor
could
possibly.
Be. Yeah, it could be. Although that'd be interesting.
But Jen McCabe is definitely more. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I'd say Jen McCabe is the best guess.
So back to my question on the courthouse steps: who's everybody protecting now? Why would they be protecting the McAlberts? Why?
I mean,
that's kind of a rhetorical question.
That's the best question.
Yeah.
I mean, and how amazing would it be if Turtleboy's trial turns out to be instrumental in getting justice for John O'Keefe?
That's a great point. If they keep pressing and this keeps moving forward behind me, that could be exactly what happens.
Thank you.
Wouldn't
The
Peter.
irony in that is beautiful.
Wouldn't that would
Well,
be just
don't
poetic
you-
pain in the ass justice? Yeah.
Do you think?
The
And
irony
here's
in
a
that is
question I threw out today. Do you think that that if those texts are like protecting, to protect the people in power, right? And Cosgrove knows about power, right? That's, he's supposed to be a special prosecutor. He's supposed to have the power, not go back to somebody and ask what he should do. Please pass the pepper. Thank you, as always, Lyndon Michael. But do you think they would dismiss Turtleboy's case rather than release that stuff?
Wow.
I'll take either. Because the thing is, like, the guy in me that really wants to see a trial, like, we all want that drama of a trial for sure, but at the same time, like, I've become friends with Aidan, and I don't like to see him going through what he's going through.
Right.
So I'm hoping ultimately that they just dismiss his case. But I'm also, if it goes to trial, I am very much looking forward to Bradel and Betterow exposing some real corruption. I'm really looking forward to that.
And I think
I'm really looking forward to seeing Kate Peter sitting on the stand. I'm really looking forward to seeing Ken Mello sitting on the stand.
Yeah, that case could be what Karen Reed 1 was in terms of those characters, those presentations, those embarrassing people. It could be. We missed it in trial too because nobody wanted to bring those people on. It could blossom in an Aidan trial.
Yeah. By the way, Josh H says something that I actually feel he's absolutely right. I'm just going to say Turtleboy has a better 1983 claim than Karen. Turtleboy's claim is, I think, absolutely. I think if he wins this case.
And that's a federal statute, right?
The federal statute, civil rights. That's a area I practice. One of a number of cases going 12-0 in federal courts doing that civil case. They're very hard. But boy, when you get to the actual misconduct, you get to someplace that people that know they're guilty of misconduct and they're doing it for an improper purpose, then the courts lift that qualified immunity. And I don't think anyone's going to try to protect Proctor. So my next question is to Will. I want this. I'm going to say a name. Okay. I'm going to say, actually, I'll say a couple of names. Yuri Buchanan. Reaction.
Oh, dirty, cocky, arrogant, dirty and arrogant.
And now he's in Southie. Now
Henry
He
Hall.
was at his 40th birthday party by accident.
I heard that first it was to South.
Say it again.
At his 40th birthday party by accident.
How did you do that?
It was in a public place, but I had no idea that when I was going there that was happening.
Somebody was telling us that they were at the bar. Sent pictures. I had to be. Like,
I have pictures.
Bet that was fun. And then Bukaki Ducksworth was at a kid's recital. Both their kids go to the same school and they're in the same class. So he said he sees him every day and like drop off line and shit.
Oh, is Bukaki Ducksworth from Stoughton?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he held the door open for him and called him Bukaki.
Oh.
And he didn't like that.
Oh, shocker. My neighbors, their kids do dance, whatever stuff with his. It's awkward. It's so weird.
I bet it is. Lola must have got a phone call or something. Only 3 minutes left in this, and that's about 10 minutes left in this show. Thank God.
To the South Boston or whatever. And then I heard it was to some sort of training department where he's going to monitor administrative duties or some BS, which basically means, bring your lunchbox and sit at your desk, you moron. Don't do more damage.
It's desk duty because I saw the order, but I didn't quite read it all the way through. Let me ask you another one. Supposedly she hasn't been back to her job since the trial. Dever, Will?
Oh, yeah. She's I mean, it certainly seems like there is a vibe of a panic going on because all of these things are happening very close to each other, which just amplifies my hope that there's federal intervention.
Yeah. Lexi has a question. Did you see Jen at the courthouse today?
No, Jen. Although Dina suggested because the weather has been so hot and hellish that Jen must be around somewhere because she brings hell wherever she goes. But I did not see her. There was the first part of that question that we jumped over about the 5,000 pages. We got sidetracked into that. But the first part of the question was about Alan Jackson still representing Karen and what might happen going forward. And people were kind of, their interest was piqued by that. First of all, when he says he will always represent Karen, as an attorney, you have an obligation to former clients, even if you're done, to maintain certain confidences. And so in a sense, whether you do any work for them ever again, you always represent that former client. I'm not sure what he was talking about when he phrased it that way, but we do believe, and this is what people were alluding to, there might be some civil matters down the road that he gets involved with, or there might be subsequent criminal investigations that he becomes involved with. It was all very vague, and I think that's what people are most curious about.
It's a good way to end it. Mary B, that was a fun show.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I love us.
We almost broke 39. I mean, we almost got to 40 in the chat again. 2 days in a row.
When I jumped on, I saw 33 and I was like, whoa, what is happening?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, now it's when it grows quick. Like when you get all
What was the record on the last channel? 47?
Yeah, I think it was around
7, something like that.
We're almost back.
We almost hit the 40.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Turtleboy's
Baby's back. Danny's back. Back again.
We get done with this, we'll be at 400 views again.
Back again. Back again. Back again.
So that's good stuff.
Oh, show.
Everyone's got that radio voice. Down at KRP. Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati.
That's good stuff. But thank God this is over for you people. Thanks for hanging out. Mary B, y'all say goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, Herbie.
Bye, sweet woman. Bye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
See y'all hopefully tomorrow. Get on some of that dismemberment stuff tomorrow.
Sounds fun.
Sounds
Everywhere.
good.
Later.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Rat House, baby. Where the truth ain't quiet, and neither are you. Oh, yeah. Where the chat rats crew slide in, pull up a seat, crime talk, cold facts, and a jazzy backbeat. We got stories to tell, got some justice to serve. So pour up that coffee or something with a swerve. There's Rat Daddy leading 6'5" of cool. Toys the queen with the sharpest of tools. Dean's cracking jokes, Mary B's got the tea, and Lawleen lays the law down, real boss energy. MJ's got the fire. Gingy's taking names. Cassie's dropping Angel Baby's in the game. The clerk's keeping order, Misty's watching close. Pinky promises, keeps receipts, and she does the most. We're the chat rats, baby. Worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the Rat House, baby, that's how it goes. Snap, snap. Cherry lights it up. Cherry lights it up, neon glow behind her head. Tombstones drops the facts that awake the dead. Connor's taking notes, Janine's on the clock. Petty the paralegal keeps the court on lock. Sweet woman, sweet, but she'll sting if you like. Calypso keeps it cool, got that island vibe. Prince Lover's in purple, that Texas pride glowing. Sherry's laughing loud while the facts keep flowing. Bum, 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 bum. Da-da-bum, ghetto. crazy-eyed cheese, oh you better believe. Robo-rat clicks sparks gears in his head, breaking the code till the lies drop dead. Jump, we're the chat rats, baby. Worldwide and bold, stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the rat house, baby, that's how it goes. Rat solving cracks. Worlds are stage. That's a fact. Together, we're the chat rats crew. We ain't looking back.